Hello. So we are doing the Pickled Pepper versus Snappin' Week 9 set, I believe it is. It's Week 8 actually, week 8. So this is probably the two best teams in NA, with Sanguine being a close third. So quality games. I get to roast Penguin, which is great. These games are a while ago. I believe the season is either done or is done this Saturday in a few days. So season's almost done. These games start to matter now. So let's take a look at them. I'm pretty sure Pickled Pepper is all but guaranteed that they're top two, and Snappin is still kind of fighting it out with Sanguine. So this game does matter, especially since if Snappin win, that'll be a win for Snappin and a loss for Pickled Pepper. So this game is very important. Very good teams, and the best part is that we have drafts. So we can actually take a look at the drafts. Oh, sorry, I don't know how twitch.tv/thefishnet got here, but we can look at the drafts, right? This game's on YouTube, so we're gonna do that. I have the demos for the first games. I can't leak the replays, um, but we can look at the drafts and sort of go over those before we look at the games. So, Drag Falls. Important to know, Pickled Pepper is all console. Like the DPS are at least are console. Um, I don't think I'm not really sure who else is. But a lot of this game is going to revolve around console drafts, right? Console picks: Victor, Lex, Vivian, Strix, Kin to a point. So expect to see a lot of those sorts of bans. So if we're talking North America right now, I believe it's changed a little bit since then, but Vivian Genos bans are pretty much perma bans for second pick. You don't let either of those things through. These teams have definitely experimented with letting those things through, so it's a bit different. Like you see, they're letting the Genos through. But from Pickled Pepper, first of all, we have a BK ban, which is a target ban. Pickled Pepper do not play BK. Console, right? I'm sure there's, fantastic, maybe Gyro, but Pickled Pepper specifically does not play BK to my knowledge. Shaolin is a bit, it could partly be a target ban, and it could also partly be a ban to set up for a ROM later. So for the first pick here, you have Genos. Genos would be a good option, so it takes away the option of double mark from Snappin. You have Anara if you really want to go that way, if you want to play the off point sort of style. I was gonna say Torvald next because it's sort of it's a bit more flexible. It does well into dive. It does okay with being aggressive. It works super well with console. If Snappin don't insta lock, double. So here's the thing, right? This draft sort of puts Snappin in a weird position where if they take both mark supports, if they take Genos and Corvus, cool, they get both mark supports. But then Pickled Pepper could sort of take a really beefy comp with an Anar or something, and that forces Snappin to have to play aggressively with DPS into Torvald, which is Torvald's best matchup. So it puts Snappin in a bit of a weird spot. They will take the Genos. I personally wouldn't go for the Corvus here. It sucks that you gave it up. I would have let the Victor through. That's what I would have done. Obviously, Snappin has some sort of plan for this, right? So taking Terminus this early, bit strange. I don't get it. It works better. Term works better with Genos than NR, but also this is more of we're just gonna take the safe thing. Okay, it's fine if you just want to leave your draft somewhat open, right? Just say we're gonna Genos Terminus literally tells nothing about their comp other than they probably want to play aggressive because of the Genos. There's so many ways they could fill this out. They could do standard. They could do triple DPS. They could still go Corvus. They could go another support and just try to play off point. This Snappin's leaving the draft early, sort of forcing Pickled Pepper to show their hand, and Pickled Pepper sort of do show their hand with a really aggressive ROM, right? So ROM just doesn't. I mean, he has the health to contest point, but he doesn't usually want to. So Pickled Pepper probably going to be playing aggressive. The Grover, it's a really good pick, right? I don't really understand not taking the Corvus over, especially since it's on Jag. This is a map where DPS like to spread out a lot with a lot of walls, so this is a really good situation for Corvus. Unless they're so it's sort of showing that they need, if they want healing, which they do, they're gonna have to stack. So that's sort of like they're going to do like these 3 picks right there. So they're playing aggressive and they're playing together. That leaves 3 counter picks for Stappen to decide what they want to do against that. I like the picks from Snappin. Leaves their draft open. They can fill it out with another support, another tank, another DPS. They literally do anything. Angel's good solo flank. Zen, his ult is good, and like these are good takeaway picks too. You expect something like a Lex to come out for Pickled Pepper because it's a really good pocket. Maybe Lex and a backliner. Tyra Leon. Strix exists too. That's fine for console, right? I mean, it's fine for PC too, but it's a console pick, you know. And Snappin', so like Pickled Pepper is just gonna try to run you over, right? That's all they're gonna try to do. They're just gonna like Torp Bucket Alexa, they're gonna send Ramen. Grover and Strix are a bit hard to dive. They're a bit hard to get onto. But they're gonna be also following the team playing aggressive. So Atlas is like so good here. It's not very much healing. It's not very much it's not a very high damage comp. Luminary sort of makes up for that. But it's very good. It's really good aggression. Like Atlas just shuts down everything Pickled Pepper wants to do. So how these comps are generally going to work. You're going to have, well, from Pickled Pepper, again, it's like you want to stack side, you want to stack with your Grover, you want to play within that Grover's radius, but then you want to be playing someone aggressive in that side, right? So look for Pickled Pepper to be like really aggressive. Lex is going to be popping off, and the Strix is probably going to be trying to make dumb stealth plays, right? For Snappin', they have the option to go aggressive, but the Atlas sort of defines their comp, right? They're going to be trying to hold space super well and just shut down what Pickled Pepper are trying to do. So, also, I'm just going to start calling them Pepper, because Pickled Pepper is, like, too many syllables. So, the only thing I don't like from Snappin' is that, although the Genesis is a good pick, in this sort of composition, usually you want something with a bit more juice, a bit more healing. So, like, yes, they were kind of forced into taking it. I don't want to give Torvald Genos Lex to a console team. And I understand that from Snappin', makes 100% perfect sense. But also you'd prefer like a Grover, Corvus, Damba. Just something that can keep your things alive a bit better. It is good into Lux though. So also if you look at Pepper, if they took the Corvus instead of the Grover, they wouldn't be forced to play together as much. You could play like double offlane, send some like Torv Lex Sun and like Rom Corvus and Strix Jag maybe. Like you could split up a bit more. Like maybe not specifically that, but it would let you take more space. And now we shall turn to the actual demo. These are available on both mine and Kresnik TV's streams. So if you do want to get a hold of these demos, it is !week or !w8 demos, and that'll give you a link to download all these demo files. You put them into your, if you're on Steam, I don't know if it works on anything else, put them into your demos folder. It's like somewhere in the Paladin's Chaos engine. I don't know, you'd have to go where exactly to put them. But basically you put all the files in there and then you do exactly what I did, /demo play and the file name. Let's get some names up here. I believe I saw Snappin' was red and Pepper was blue. Is this right? It is. Okay.
The battle has begun.
Not exactly stacked from Pepper, but overall same sort of idea. Right, Grover's gonna be rotating. Grover's following the Strix, which I don't like. But overall, I mean, Snappin' are playing this really well. They're sort of controlling their main and they're controlling Dark, so that's a lot of space. Then Rom kind of gets just ran out. Like, it's a really good call, but Lux... Yeah, if you look at this play from the Lex POV, it's just a whole bunch... Like, he cleans up because Snappin just lost sight of the Lex. Like, straight up, he comes in, he finished up a low HP Atlas, he 4 shots at Genos with 4 straight headshots in the middle of being lifted, which is insane. And like, kills Term, and then 1v1's the Xin on like 70 health. It is absolutely ridiculous. But basically that's just like, yeah, Snappin just, I don't know if they just forgot about the Torv. Like, it's literally the only scary, super scary thing on this team. If you shut down the Torv, then like, you should be fine. Snappin on the reapproach for some reason are all in main aside from the DPS. None of their tanks are really following anything. Andrew being by himself is fine, but generally Xin works better with off tanks, so you want your Atlas at least pushing with your Xin a little bit. Lux is, and again, not a great zone from Pickled Pepper either. What is it with Drag Falls and everyone just forgetting that off lanes exist? Everyone just sort of defaults to main, right? Like, Atlas is taking no space here, but it's good enough since Pepper are like stacking into a Term Siphon. So for some reason, Snappin has decided, hey, we have them cornered in this small room, let's push into it instead of letting them make their mistake, right? Like, Pepper was stacked in a room into a Term Siphon. Let them stack in a small room into a Term Siphon. Like, it's right. You don't have to push in. You can watch the doors. Like, also, I want to point out that with that bug with Sinalt. So actually, we can go back all the way to. Oh, this is the reapproach. We're gonna have people on mounts. So yeah, Pepper for some reason in main. They sort of back up to, like, they're soft zoning here. The other team's gonna get a touch, which is fine. They sort of soft zone. They have a really cheeky angle. Like, our Bones gets a cheeky angle. Like right here, why do you push? Like, what does Pepper do from this position? They're all low. Like, yeah, you can win the fight, or you can let them like slowly lose it. So, like, they're all low. There's no reason to go in. But oh yeah, the Xenalt. So, let's watch this from this angle. Should be fine. So he billows. Gets the whirl. I don't think he reset I don't know if he reset OT. He ults the Xin. He's ulting this Lex right now, but his hitbox and body and everything is right here, and he dies to the team. If this bug doesn't happen, he stays in here, kills the Lex. So bugs, like, I don't know if it affects the fight, right? Like, it's a bit, if he gets the kill, he's healthier, and it's like a, I mean, no, actually, it does make a difference because it's gonna be a 3v3, isn't it? I don't think, do they have OT? I mean, Stigma's probably dead, right? Bones is back, Penguins is alive, Lex is dead. They have no damage from. I mean, I'm not gonna say like they definitely would have won the fight. Like, they just, but like, bugs making a difference in PPC is something you just love to see, right? So now, if you're holding jokes, it's pretty straightforward. Like, it's the same sort of thing, right? Like, Atlas and your Zen play together, Angel can play solo, Genos just plays wherever the hell, and Turn plays somewhere. Wonderful decides, hey, I'm going to use all of my cooldowns, well, my most important cooldown, into something that can cancel my most important cooldown while the cart's free pushing, and then he dies. So waiting for the cart to push up is generally a good idea. I really like that Atlas ult. Get the stagger going. You can get a fold here. I just gotta make sure that you're watching every lane because it's Jag. Like, there's Jag, there's main, and there's Sun. Just gotta make sure you're watching all of those, or at least you know where everyone is. And they're just kind of running over them. Doesn't get the lift, which is unfortunate, but doesn't really matter. So now it's like, where do you draw the line? Pretty standard full hold stuff. I don't think I like so two things I don't like. I don't like that Term is playing Sniper. And I don't like that Andrew is playing I'm going to die in 2 seconds because I'm running out into the open in front of my team. So he gets out, but he forces all of his cooldowns. Nice crush. He did go crush, right? Yeah. Atlas sort of by himself. The Zen sort of disconnected, but he turned. So it's like either the Atlas went too aggressive or the Zen didn't communicate that he was leaving. Either way, it's fine. I like this setup from Snappin'. Like this is generally the setup they're gonna have for this entire game, right? So then they decide, okay, we're gonna hard push face. That's a fine play, right? You're Grover, you're aggressive, just stack lane and battering ram your way through it. So Snappin' either needs to respond to this in two ways, and they need to respond because if they don't, they're just gonna like that lane's just gonna get run over. So there's two ways, right? You can either meet them with the same amount of people or the same amount of pressure, right? So like Terms, that's what Terms trying to do, or you can go into strict splits by himself, and you can sort of let that lane back up. Like there's two ways, right? We're gonna use the pen tool for this. How do I? Can I draw, please? I'd like to draw. Why is it not? I swear I tested this. Can I do anything else? Can I draw lines? Oh, I can't even draw lines. Is it too big? Is it hidden behind? What's going on here? Can I draw like... Okay, well, I mean, I can draw the pause screen, I guess. Did they change how this works? Iris? Okay, so I guess oh wait, can I hit escape and then... No, I can't. Okay, well, we're just gonna draw this over the pause menu. I'm sorry about this. This used to work, so I don't know what they changed. So Pepper's gonna push like this. Snappin' can either respond, and then they just sort of like fight here, or the Zen and Atlas can leave, and they can come around and hit him from the back. And those are your two options. That's really all you can do. So let's see which one they go for. They seem to be responding to it. But, I mean, okay, Genos, whatever. Oh, Andy died. I didn't even see that. So they just don't have the people to respond to it anymore, right? But they're dying up. They're wasting time. That's fine. So you get a pick. You just muscle your way through. It's a 5v4. If Pepper don't win that, it's because they beefed it somewhere. But that means they do get a good fight on second. 40 seconds left, so ults aren't going to be back for the next mid. So if you're snapping, all you're trying to do is you're trying to get a hold at this line right here, right? You guys can sort of picture where that is, the escape menu. Sniper gets pick, unlucky, so you're probably holding spawn now. But generally you'd have Atlas in, like that same sort of setup, right? Like Atlas is in on the right side, Andrew on the left, and then Term and Genos in main. Oh, they get a really weird recontest now. That's why holding up is risky, man. Sometimes you give up important chokes. And then the pick's unlucky, right? The pick's unlucky. Did they get touch? Did Zin not have Whirl? No, he did. Zin, he might have been able to get touch with cooldowns. And then just billowed. He would have died. But Term would have got back. At the very least, he built Gentle Salt, maybe? Like, I don't... You probably don't win that, right? Like, in the 2% of the times you do, then that's worth it, right? Because like, what's the worst that can happen? Unless you know that they'd like just use all their ults, so you don't want to feed them ult charge, then like sure. But all right, on the mids, I want to see Pickled Pepper. I want to see the Grover be more of the team. I want more aggression. I want to see a huge Torvald ult. I'm knocking 5 people off the map. And yeah, I want to see good tank ult usage to punish them stacking in dark again. That's really it. And then from Snappin', I want them to remember that Torvald Lex is big spooky. And I want them to remember that offlanes exist. And not all go mid when the fights get scrappy, and make sure that the Atlas and Zen are playing a bit better together. Is this rollout? Okay, so this makes no sense to me. This is almost certainly a miscommunication. What the hell is this? There's no way to say this nicely. So the reason this is bad, right? First of all, you have Zen, who he looks like he thinks he has a tank coming with him. He is playing super aggressive into a lane that got 5-man pushed by the other team last round. So like he's about to have to use all his cooldowns, get low, and be like not really in the fight too hard for like the next little bit because of this. Snap and lose this fight like 90% of the time, just because like their tanks aren't going to be controlling any space. Pickled Pepper can literally just make a beeline towards the Genos. What's going to stop them? So this looks like a miscommunication here, because like you can give Jag, right? Like if it's only the Andro here or like the Genos play somewhere else, then like it's fine, right? The Andro can get dismounts and then leave. But it's just like, what's going on here? The DPS are by themselves, the tanks are by themselves. Lex feeds into the tanks when they're trying to push. So like okay, God. So first of all, from Pickled Pepper, you don't recognize that there's no tanks there. I don't know if they just didn't see the Andro and Genos and just, oh, it was only a Xin. We force the Xin out, we go for point now. Or if I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. And Snappin has just decided, you know what? We go main. We go main, boys. It's Jag Falls. Point fight is happening. We go main. Good old. Not guillotine, is it? No. Lex fed. Pickled Pepper, like, they made really weird rotations, and Snappin, if that Lex doesn't feed, they probably lose. Stigma also feeds, though. Dude, this literally has just been Lex fed, then Andro fed. Lex fed. Snappin is winning the fight. Andro just fed. Pickled Pepper is going to start winning the fight. So is Snappin going to reset? Are they going to leave? Are they going to back out for Jag? Term siphons everyone out? Just leave? Okay, I mean, or you could stay and die. You know, take the 3v5. Term his ult. So like this is a really good push, right? Like it's the same thing, 5 stacking. So Snapping again needs to respond either with matching it in kind, or they need to exert pressure somewhere else. So this little 2v2, Torv gets caught out. Like that's a really weird split from a team that really wants to be playing together a lot. Nice crush. So this looked like there was a miscommunication there of like whether Pepper wanted to push or not. I don't think they should have. Like ideally, Term just siphons everyone out. So a bit of an overextension from them, especially pushing past a doorway. Like I swear to God, doorways are death traps at higher levels. It's just like you go into a doorway and you were like instantly it's more dangerous, or you go out of a doorway, or it's doorways are scary things, man. I mean, Snappin just kind of like Pepper kind of fed. Lux fed, and then Torv and Lux fed. Like, they had good collapses, right? Like, when the Lux fed, they punished it. When the Torv Lux overextended, they punished it. But, like, Snappin didn't win that fight because they were the better team. They won because Pepper was the worst team, right? You know? If that makes any sort of sense. Again, same sort of mistake as the ROM did earlier, pushing when the cart isn't actually at a choke yet. That's going to go as a soft reset. Pepper's going to go for the full hold. We have seen this before. Bones saving the KD. Honestly, that's a man there. You always save the KD. Just kidding, you don't always save the KD, but it's good in this case. Alright, so Snapping again. Same sort of setup. You could maybe have the Andrew play main if you want to play more together. I like the attempt at the ult, catch someone out, then you collapse on them. Pepper has decided that they're holding first choke, not a bad call. Snappin is generally just walking forward. I have no idea what their plan are, and I doubt they do either. Stigma just kind of waddles down into main. That's unfortunate, and now Pepper realizes it's a 5v4, and they are hitting the go button. Having a killed, so I don't agree if that's in ult. Even if they do get the kill, they're still getting run over, so there's a lot of Andrew Lux feeding going on in this game. That's some Rizal on that Lux. Rizal for you. Rom has decided to stay a bit too long. Like, if you look where he is compared to the rest of his team, that's a bit weird, right? Like, his team looks like they want to hold that, this sort of, like, Tetris line right here. That sort of first choke. And then Rom was like, I run. So a bit strange there, and now they're dying as they slowly back up, because slowly backing up never really tends to favor anyone. It's just not great. Snappen's comp isn't great for pushing. Generally on Jag, you want a bit of range. You want to set up a DPS for free on face over there on the right side. But they're taking this right side really aggressively. I like this. There's not too much Pepper can do about it. Again, the Strix being where he is a bit weird. Like, I feel like you want to exploit your range. Like, you can let them in a bit on face, right? You can let them push up just a little bit, and then just have the Strix farm them, right? I mean, there's things that Snappin can do to counter that, but so again, I didn't see how the Grover died, but really aggressive push from Snappin. It didn't really look like Pepper knew which choke they were holding. Which Riesel do they have? I don't think Torv can just ult everyone off, can he? So I hate this from Snappin. If you look at how much map control they have just completely given up the right side because they want to make it easier for Pickled Pepper to retake this. So ideally, I think you have Atlas and Zen over there just to hold some space, right? If they push up, they have to push out of Secret into a like Genos Antro. That's kind of risky. You'll get lifted, right? So not the best. Like if Pepper see this, then Strix walks out the right side and kind of is free. Like what's gonna contest him? Then all of a sudden Snappin have to like cross a whole bunch of dangerous area into, you know. Genosol gets a pick. Torvald also gets a pick. And here's the freeze Strix. Takes a shot. Penguin collapses on him. What if he never got that angle in the first place? What if he just had an Atlas there? Puts up a shield and Zen can burn point for free. Like, works out pretty well. Now everyone's low. Winnable? No, there's no way. Ram's up. So Snappin kind of beefed that. I really believe if they had Atlas Zen on the right side that they would not, because they lost like their main source of damage there, like the Andro. They lost that really early, so not great. And the Grover wasn't really alive to keep things up. Like Grover's not gonna be doing too much healing in this game, right? It's a Lux, it's a Rom, it's a Torvald. Like Grover can do a lot of healing. This comp doesn't need a lot of healing. You could have gotten away with Genos like easily with this comp. So Grover getting first picked, as big as getting your support picked isn't actually the worst for Pepper. Like, I'd rather have the Grover die than the Lex. Because the Lex is going to win the fight. Grover's just going to... What's Grover going to do? Who's he going to heal? You know? Like, Rom's going to be taking damage on point, yes, but that's important. But also, like, Lex is going to be the one winning in the fight. From Snappin, I'd like them to fix whatever the hell they were trying to do. I like they were changing things, but I don't think I don't think they were all on different pages, so that's not great. And then from Pepper, I want to see more decisiveness and more like I don't want to say like responsiveness, but I want to see someone on Pepper make a call, and I want to be able to visually see when that call is made, because I want like everyone's heads to turn and then they go on something. Like that's the sort of thing I want to see. So let's see what Snappin were trying to do. Okay, so they were trying to just go main to dark with like 3 people. This is I don't like it. I don't like it. Why do you have okay, why are you stacking tanks? What sort of rollout ever stacks tanks? Pirates. That's pirates. Nothing else than pirates should stack tanks ever. Don't stack tanks. Pirates, by the way, for people who don't know, is Terminus, Makoa, and then like usually you have an off tank like an Atlas or Barrack, and then you have like some really big throughput AoE healers like Damba, Sky, Hail Sky, and then like Grok, sometimes Grovers. Like the default comp is Term, Koa, Atlas, Grok, and Damba. And you all just sit point, and that's how the comp works. Pepper have played this comp in PPC before. But aside from playing that comp, why are you stacking tanks? Term and Atlas, like Term can hold the door just fine, right? So if you have the Atlas, where the Genos is right now, and you have maybe the Zen with him, how do Pepper push past that, right? It's a lot difficult. It's really difficult for them. Atlas can like ult them, put up a shield, rewind the Atlas dash, and can poke for free. Like then while that's happening, you have Term just like sort of siphoning here. You have maybe the Andrew can go around, or maybe you have the Andrew play with the Atlas and the Zen play with the Term. Like there's more. You're not getting as much use out of your tanks here as you could be. And Pepper is, I mean, Pepper is like they have this option. Like this is really the only thing their comp can do. So not the worst. Like imagine, dude, imagine if Atlas was here. So that it's like get this dive going. Do you really need like okay, dude? Even if you're going for this play where you bust out of dark, imagine how good this would be if the Atlas was right here. You would pinch them so hard, they'd be so screwed. Like this, it still works. It still works because they execute it well. But good God, it could have been so much cleaner. It could have been so much cleaner. And they don't cap because like spooky Strix. Like it is really scary for Genos to cap. That's honestly fine. It does mean that you. I don't think you can hard zone though. So Pepper get a retake, and Stigma's walk down main and fed again. Oh no. Oh no, Stigma. His bones died once, and that was the first fight. All right, so now we're at this 4v5, where Andrew just respawned. He's not, he's not doing anything. Oh, he's coming back pretty quick, actually. That's weird. So like Snappa wants to be looking to reset, ideally, and then Pepper wants to either. They probably want to win this fight, right? They just want to say it's a 5v4. We have more people. We have more resources. We just run them over, right? We just steamroll them. Unfortunately, Lex feeds. I don't know how. That's really unfortunate. Now Andrew's back. Rom is split from the rest of the team. Zin dies, but they lose Rom, so they effectively have like no beef, no space making for the DPS. Stigma's having a rough go of it, man. He's having a rough go of it. Grover gets touch, ults to keep touch going. So at this point, it's like, okay, who can control space gooder? I think this sort of scrappy fights favor Snapping better because it's a lot easier for them to play on point and also to the side at the same time. Like all you have to do is have the Atlas go to a side and have one of the DPS hook up with him. Boom, you have an offlane, and that offlane can like do wonders. For Pepper, it's like really weird to have a Rom contesting because you want Rom to be going in to make space for your DPS, but now you don't have that option anymore because he actually does not. He has to contest point, right? He has to contest point. I mean, our Torv does. So this is fine from Pepper. Andrew makes a nice rotation. Look how much space Snap and have. Rom's getting bullied. This Andrew is literally just one hand. He's got one hand on his mouse, and the other hand is he's scratching himself on the back, right? Like he's under no pressure because we have the peanut gallery out here watching the fight happening from Maine. Please, Pepper, just there's an entire rest of the map. This Andrew is free. This is Snappin doing a very, very good job of punishing Pepper for stacking in Maine. Please do not stack in main. Send the Torv Lex around. Is your best option, right? Andrew's finally under some pressure, but it's too late because the tank's already fed. Torv had to touch. Torv is kind of squishy. Torv just evaporates. Grover has to touch. Grover dies. Lex dies. Everyone's dead because they set up the damn peanut gallery in main, right? They had the 4 musketeers back there. So, and Snappin had like 2 people in main, right? And then you had the Zen sort of in secret, or Zen in dark, and then the Andrew was Sun, and Genos can sort of play wherever, and like it worked out a lot better for them. Jag is really a good map for seeing how well teams know what what space is. So Rom is going in, so like I don't. Jeez, the card has moved. This is a fine play from Pepper if you're trying to get like 2 fights. You just int, right? You just go in and you take a fight. It's a fine play. Unfortunately, where are his DPS? Where are his DPS? I mean, he gets a kill, but where? Okay, there you go. That's the sort of response. That could have been a lot cleaner. And Snappin kind of just fell for it. Like, if you're gonna fall back and deal with something, you need to leave. You need to get out. So like the Andrew staying in main that long is a bit rough. I'm not sure what happened with the Atlas. Maybe just ran out of cooldowns. Like he was fighting on a weird spot. It was like in between cover, so that might have been a reason why. Snappin can't win here, so ults aren't really going to be forced. And it's not a great idea for Snappin to commit them. Not that ults have been mattering in the mids. or that either team is like gigantic alts. So if you're Pepper, how do you hold this? So you have two ways, I think. You can either set up the Strix to burn them as they come face. Actually, I think you do both. I don't think you care too much about Secret because you sort of say, "Hey, Strix," you just sort of watch that angle, play like back in this room right here. I don't know the call out for this, but you can have him play here. And you can sort of watch anywhere he wants to. You can have Torv Lux sort of watch face, right? Because if you try to push, it's pushing into Torv with the Strix covering there. You have the Grover back with the Strix as well. Then the only question is where does Rom want to be? Because Rom doesn't really want to take a poke fight. But you can have him sort of floating around main, floating around secret. You can have him watch. You can sort of just have him just match or sort of respond to what Snappin does. As for what Snappin does, I'd really like to see them have Term go face. I feel like you could literally just hold Siphon up for a DPS and like run over the Torf. I think you can also realize that if the Lex is not in secret, then it is very free for a DPS to take it. You can sort of take, especially if like the Ram is in there, you can have maybe the Zen, so like go in here, and then like, you take this sort of angle, and then he can't be shot by the Strix, and can contribute to the fight over in face. So Snap and have a lot of options here. You honestly, I think double offlane sort of idea, like have the Atlas and Zen push secret, have Torv, Andrew, Genos push face, might not be the worst. That's a horrible rewind. Rom was gonna feed. He was feeding. He was dashing past his team out of his sniper's LOS. He was dashing into everyone, and you just said, "No, no, you're no feeding for you, sir. We fight with honor over at Snappin." Instead, this sort of okay, that's a fine play. Just run down main, collapse on face. It is kind of all in Strix LOS, which like isn't the worst. It's not. I mean, not very good, but if you can run them over, that's fine. I don't know how Penguin ended up there. That's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you just wanted, like, that's what Pepper's doing on the mids, right? You just send 5 people and you just go. So I don't know how much better sending people main is than having them all go face. Because I mean, the term stun is nice, a little surprise factor is nice, but. And now I should probably keep the camera pretty consistent. And now is Pepper. What is Pepper doing here? I feel like it's a bit early to deny touch. Yeah, you're lucky I have Riesel. They end up just holding second anyway. Okay, well, not the worst. But it does mean that if Snap and hold W, they can probably catch out Pepper before they get to their good spots. So it's OT. There we go. This is what the Rom was doing earlier. The Atlas setback saved him from, but I mean, he Riesel, so it doesn't matter as much. Atlas has to like leave. Big setback, gets a pick. Again, sort of pushing past sniper, unless you're on defense. You're rarely pushing past your choke. Rarely. Now they have control of face, they run over the Tor, but Term has died, and they don't get touched because you don't spend alts on a 2-3, otherwise you're like even if you do push it in, they have all their alts for the mid, and then you probably lose that mid, and it's 3-3, so you lose the game. So spending not spending alts on 2-3 is good. Would just like to see even more aggression from Snappin, especially knowing that your Term was like literally hiding in a corner with the siphoned up. Like that man's scared, he's dead. Just you gotta go. You gotta like literally feed. Just go feed together and hope it works. So more aggression. I don't think my feedback for Pepper changes too much. Wrecker is online, so like be careful, Mr. Emmett Payne, please. It's not too much Wrecker, but no Wrecker on Andrew is a bit surprising. Or Genos actually. Genos Wrecker is pretty cool, but I mean, hey, he has to buy all these items so he can live against console. It's a really weird build. Like this card should only be at 1 because it's bugged. It doesn't actually increase by as much as it says. That's at 1 point or whatever. This card I like at 5. You can have like just having this at 2 is weird, right? Because like if you can bump that up by like I have it at 5. I have this at 4. I have this at 4. This at 5. So like it still lets you have heals on the same number of people. if anything, if you're going to increase one of these cards, I'd like to see this card increase, so you get the Luminary bonus for more often, right? So, bit of a weird build from Bones. I just wanted to check if he's died. He's only died once in the first mid, so good on him, I guess. I don't know if it's good on him. Maybe he should have been playing more aggressive more, you know. But Snappin', please don't stack your tanks. Stacking tanks, not stacking tanks, not stacking tanks. Nice. Okay, your Genos is a bit. It's really hard to play Genos in this sort of situation, but that's fine. Rom is making space. Genos doesn't catch anything. So Snappin has decided, hey, we're gonna respond to this aggression, right? Rom's going in. Nothing really pushed up with the Rom, so a bit strange. Big banish. And they're sort of running them over, and like the Grover and the Strix are like running over, like, oh god, we want to take part in this fight. Now, god, what the hell is happening in Dark? So Snappin spent 3 ults. So they win. I don't know. I feel that's weird.
All right, they're getting hot. They're getting hot.
That is, what the hell happened? In the half comeback, so like they win, but good on Snappin by using their ults when they know they have comeback mechanic. I don't like that alt. Cart's free pushing. Stop feeding Sigma Smile. Doesn't matter that Grover dies. And then from Pepper. Grover being by himself, I know your comp doesn't need much healing, but Grover still wants to enable the most people on his team. Like if he sets up a big root, like I know most of these people have Rizzo, but Genos doesn't. I mean Genos wasn't in Dark, but the point is like if he even makes someone over peak for a second, like you'd rather have the most follow-up possible. So bit strange that the Grover wasn't with his team. Speaking of not with his team, Rom is going on an adventure. Could have definitely gotten lifted by Genos, so really risky. But it's kind of okay. Like the mid is just weird. I don't even. I feel like the Strix did nothing that fight. Like I feel like taking the fight, like either Pepper just want to like surround with that sort of rollout. That just the Grover Strix offlane is just the weirdest thing. It is the weirdest thing. But now that pick on the Grover does mean they get to second, which isn't the biggest deal. Still means they get 2 fights maybe if they play it right. Like they could have inted, got a second fight, held at spawn. Especially since Snappin has no range, that would have been fine for them. Snappin sort of not having anyone face aside from the Atlas, so not being able to take advantage of that space that Pepper kind of gave to them. Again, Rom sort of just like running past the choke out of his team's LOS. What is he doing? Padding Snappin's stats. That's what he's doing. Nice off angle from Strix, but he's by himself. Works out. Ooh, that's on for it. Atlas kind of on point for some reason. Yeah, like the pushing with this comp is so hard from Snappin unless you like break the base and get like you hear what both those little like window things are, like this the bricks, like there's one there and one there. Like unless you can play close to those, this is so tough for them. So there's a few things you can do for it. You can look for oh, I don't know if that saved the Strix. Like you can look for an early Atlas ult and just try to like banish. They all have Rizzo free. Can't really do that anymore. I was gonna say banish something, then like walk up and try to take space that way. You can look for. I still like the idea of double offlane. Trying to get like terms in into secret, like that could work. Or alternatively, this ROM has been consistently feeding. Going up to the choke and waiting for the ROM to feed is a fine play. So that's honestly probably what I would have gone for because he has done it multiple times. There's no reason he won't do it again. Which, I don't know if it was planned. He's doing it. But unfortunately, they are all also like on the left side in the open, which is like just what? Why are you there? That is the weirdest spot for a fight to take place. It looks like they wanted to end the game too. Like they spent 2 ults, so I mean, General Assault was like not the worst timing, but and I don't think they get touched, do they? No, there's no way they get touched. So it's just weird, right? It's just weird. it's not very like clean, I guess. There's a very scrappy fight. So, all right, from Pepper, I want to see them just send the girl with the team. They all have like Weasel Freeze by now. They should. Um, Bones went. Yeah, there's. Oh my God, Bones finished his items. Um, I was gonna say we went Nimble Free instead of buying
Down
Weasel,
to
but
point
he
spawn
can
in
do
10
both.
seconds.
So everyone has Weasel. So Romalt doesn't matter too much, but like if you can do Romalt into Grover ult, it might actually do some, or like no like Romalt into a big root, then like it might do something. You just need like a second or two for your Lux to actually like kill someone, and if you kill someone 5v4, you win those. Um, I want to see them go back to the Jag rollout with the Strix solo and main, because even if you do sacrifice your Strix to the gods, then that means you can probably still run over the team. I'm really liking Snappen's draft as the game goes on more. So yeah, I mean we'll have to see if they change stuff up. So they decide to pocket the Strix and have Lux anchor and snap and do like the same rollout that they've done pretty much the entire game. So you're gonna see like this sort of I like the rollout from Pepper honestly. You could even send the ROM with the Lux if you wanted, but it's sort of like it's double offline, right? It's double offline. So snapping, you can't stay on point during all this, right? Otherwise you're gonna get pinched. You're gonna have your backline die, and then whoever's on point just gonna like watch the fight happen around them. So you can either mirror, right? You can send someone to fight the Lex, and the other people can match what Pepper's sending at them, or you can try to win one fight really quickly, right? So if you say like all of Snappin could just run in Sun and just try to kill those people. Those are effectively your two options. But they're just gonna sit there and let themselves get pinched. They're literally just holding. Do you see? They're literally like so stacked, dude. Like it could have been an imposter kill in there, and someone would have gotten away with it.
You're out of time.
Snapping. I mean, it's fine. Rom's again doing a bit too much more than he needs to. Good banish on the Grover, but he lives because Rizzo. I mean, whatever. It's Atlas Assault. Like, it gets no value at this point. Hell, I'd pop it for the CC immunity. Like, save it for Rommel. But, so they do get multiple angles on Woodknock. Notice how, like, this is, like, oh my god, they're literally stacking so perfectly for this example. Look at these idiots. Look how much space they hold. They hold, like, they threaten this space a bit. But if you're Term, right, you have to be, like, in this corner siphoning like this, right? Um, because you have to worry about Sun, you have to worry about main, multiple angles. And you have to worry about the ROM. The ROM can split you super easily. So you also have to worry about the ROM. Like, it's almost impossible for the Term to sit on point this way because Snap hasn't actually pushed anywhere. Like, Pepper took more space on the rollout. But they get ROM ult, Lux kind of feeds. Like, if you're by yourself and you're like not super strong and you have them all, you have more map control, you don't really need to be pushing. You can sort of just like wear them down, right? You're stopping Snappin from doing what Snappin want to be doing. Just wear them out. They have Channel Seals. Like, it's you'll wear them down eventually. Instead, pushes bubbles too late and Wrecker's online, and Term just ults, and Zin gets out. So this is soft zone territory for Snappin. Pepper 100% have a retouch. So just got to make sure that you soft reset to the positions that you want to be in, and don't all back up into main, because if Pepper like actually do a nice rollout and don't stack like super hard, then you're kind of done for. So I know I said that Pepper kind of want to like roll over things in the beginning, and they do. Um, but that doesn't mean they don't want to take space. Like there's a difference between like wanting to run over things as a there's a difference between death ball and like taking and like, not giving up the entire map. That's why they've been sending the Strix main, right? Again, sort of stacking tanks. Um, and Pegum gets caught out in main. And then Genos isn't with the team. Second death, unlucky. So like, again, you can kind of see how this works, right? Like look at the surround that Pepper have. Like this is literally just like map control 101. Um, Pepper have and they have main, and Snap and have Dark. They're going to get crunched between these two forces, right? So Snappin can either push somewhere else, right? Like if you have someone in Sun and they push, then like that relieves some of the pressure. Or they can force somewhere else, right? They can sort of like bust out. Like if everyone in Dark all of a sudden pushed out towards Jag, like the Torv and Lex just die, right? And then at that point, it's up to Pepper to like respond with their own aggression in main. And it's like this, every action has a reaction sort of thing, ideally. But instead, they just kind of sit there. And I mean, unfortunate from Penguin. Like the two little individual mistakes get them caught out, but also the macro play isn't correct as well. So like yes, Penguin and Bones messed up. Penguin by going main for some reason, and Bones by not being with his team. But like they shouldn't like if Stafford were a better team, then these mistakes would not have even needed to happen, right? Like because look at them, they're just sitting there. They're letting themselves get pinched. They're just getting crunched, man. Another down cap, and this is hard zone territory for Pepper. If they win this fight, they can zone. Snappin's comp is garbage to reapproach with. Like they're so slow. Rom just dashes to spawn. Their best toucher already had to use all of his cooldowns. Game's over. This is literally just map control 101. Literally map control 101. So if if you want to know why space is important and why map control is important, this is the map. This is the game for it. So just this is like not the most basic of things, but at a high level, strategy is literally all just about space. Literally, it's all about space. So these teams not really like first of all, it's great that like these mistakes are actually like macro mistakes. It's not just like this person messed up every time, right? It's nice to see actual team mistakes. Like these aren't mistakes that you're gonna like see in ranked or anything. Um, but like at the same time, they're mistakes that you kind of expect to be kind of fixed, right? At least you have like a good IGL who can like sort of spot these things. Like if Bones is in the back and sees four people in dark and then sees them getting pinched, there's people from Pepper and Jag and in main, and he sees that, he can call out what's happening and call out what his team should do. So like that kind of, and that's kind of how you can carry as a support slash IGL in scrims. I'm gonna pause the recording for a second and go get some water. I will be right back. Not for you guys. It'll just take a second. All right, have water. So let's look at the next draft. Try not to get spoilers. All right. So this is gonna be. Oh, we don't know whose pick this is yet. So it's Ice Mines. All right. Ice Mines. Everyone's favorite map. I actually don't mind Ice Mines. I think the mid fight is fine. I think it's way too long, but like the map itself isn't bad. Last choke is a bit obnoxious, but Snappin first ban the Generalist, that's fine. Tiberius ban, good general ban, but also a bit targeted at Snappin. I know that Snappin definitely like to play Tiberius on Ice Mines. A lot of teams do, but Snappin in particular. He's really good on this map, so. Vivian ban, so that's like, this is like the second pick bans from Snappin. So getting these out is actually really big from Pepper. Pepper kind of just, I don't think Pepper actually needs to ban anything. Like I think they're a-okay with literally letting everything through. So they'll play with Torv, they'll play with Vivian, they'll play against anything, which is like a huge advantage in draft because it forces all of the pressure on Snappin. So they can just sort of ban whatever the hell they want, and they're okay with anything. If I looks of it, they ban Terminus. Yeah, so they're just banning like two general strong Ice Mines target bans. That's a really big advantage. So what's up that's important? Corvus is a bait on this map because DPS don't really ever take 1v1s or fights that like need a Corvus mark. You might as well just pick a normal healer. Unless you have like a Torv comp. Which there's Torv. Snapping with the early NR, that's very generic. Gives you the option of playing fast, playing off point, whatever. Torvald, so I don't like Torvald Ice Mines because first of all, games tend to go late, so items, and B, he doesn't have a good matchup into their off tanks. So snap and go something like a Con or an Atlas, then like Torv's not gonna really have too much of an impact. I feel like Victor's also strange because like Strix is up, Kin is up. Like I don't know if you do really prior with a Victor that high. So Snap and our Atlas that they just showed their hand right there. This is going to be anti-dive pretty much. They're just gonna sit there and they just want to shut down what Pepper tried to do. So you're probably gonna see like a Zen would be good, Strix would be good, Cassie would be good, um, BK'd be good. Trying not to stack too much Riesel with the team. Pepper go Corvus Strix. So Corvus to match up with the Torvald, and then they pick Victor Strix, which is really weird because like Snappin can go Kin, right? They can have an okay matchup into your DPS, and they still burn point better. Yeah. And then Zin's just to find anywhere. You can put him in barn, you put him stage, good ult, right? You go guillotine this map. And what do Pepper do? You have to go. You go Rom into that? No. You go Ash? Eh. You go Con? No. You can go Nando. You could go Nando. They go Rom? He's not gonna get to run ever. Actually. Rom can go Barn. And what's gonna stop him in Barn? Zenalt? Eh. I really like Snapin's draft. I feel like it's very coherent, makes a lot of sense. It's very good at playing off point. You can get dismounts with Grover. It's got okay ults. It's not great. It falls off the Riesel a bit hard. Pickled Pepper's draft is like, what the hell is going on here? It's like generic good stuff. Rom's pretty good. Console DPS are pretty good. Corvus is pretty good. Hey, what if we put a Torvald on that? What if we just put a bubble on the good things? Um, I have no idea how this comp is gonna work from Pepper. I think they got out drafted. Like, what does Torv do? Snapping aren't gonna push ever. They're just gonna play an R on point and just like let you do your thing, man. They don't care. Like, what? How did Snap Pepper win? Their ults aren't like they're not playing off ults. They're not playing off playing slow, and I think they can't play fast. How do they win? you know, aside from Snappin messing up and Pepper punishing Snappin for messing up, but if Pepper win like that, it's because they're a better team and not because their draft is better. Snappin win this handily. Win the draft handily. Not the game. I don't know who wins the game. So oops, snap 2. Okay. Also, it's like 1:30 a.m. here. I have no idea why I decided to VOD a long ass series this late. I am actually dumb. Now my voice is gonna be gone for tomorrow, man. Unlucky. But hey, I like making these, so. I get to yell at PPC players. Tell them they're all dumb. Just kidding, they're great players. They're only a little dumb. Sometimes. A lot of the time. Way too much. They're dumb way too much. Anyhow, I don't know where I was going with that. No master riding off the bat, which is interesting. So you're definitely going to see Zinbarn, Kin Grover Windows, Atlas Stage, and Inara endpoint. So this is Stage. A little wooden area over there is Barn. For Pickled Pepper, I think it's going to be Rom and Barn. Okay, so there's two ways you can. I hate their draft. You want to go in? Like this feels just like Pepper's draft. If I had to like give it like the slightest bit of credit, is that it makes so much space for this Victor Strix. Nothing's gonna be able to push this Victor Strix the entire game, right? So that's sort of what the comp can do, right? You can send like the Rom sort of Barn, contest that. Torv can sort of prevent them from pushing stage. I don't think Snappin cares. I think Victor Strix, you can match that. You can win with your ults. You can sustain just fine. There's no pressure. You can just literally just leave if you ever get low and just soft reset. They're not going to push. If they do, you can punish. You have tools. You have Atlas. You have Grover. Like you have the tools to punish them if they try to push you. Like I don't know. I don't know. But it does make a crap ton of space for Victor Strix. So this game's gonna be won or lost based on like straight up how well does Victor and Strix do. So I'll like why are you in Windows? Why are you pushing? You do not need to be pushing. Why would you push? This is an unnecessary risk, and now your Grover's gonna have a stroke. I'm just dashing. Again, bit of hand holding here, bit of hand holding from Pickled Pepper. Anara's just like actually taking space. No one's capped though. No one's capped. Alice gets poked out. Now the Victor has decided he's going to try to 1v3. I mean, he was pocketed, but jeez, there's no way you get away with that ever. King gets a pick. This is done. This is done. Penguin should be moving to point, start getting cap time. What's gonna shoot? I mean, Strix can shoot him, I guess. And yeah, I mean, you can hard zone with this for sure, but that deja vu it is. And like again, like why you know that why are you running guy? Why are you running? Why are you running? That's a horrible accent. I'm so sorry. But you get the point, right? Why is Snappin actually pushing here? What does it do for them? Like, ooh, yes, shiny, I can get kills. Do they need to be pushing? No, they just won the fight. There's like 2 people dead. Why are you pushing? Just sit on point. Chill. You vibing. And now these people have to leave. Bones has got the idea. Because, like, it's a 5v3. It doesn't matter how whatever the comps are. It's a 5v3. There's no way you win this ever. Reincarnate's being super greedy right here. If the Strix had pushed up with the Torv, he dies. He dies anyways. Soft reset from Snappin. Hold the gates. Don't let them push up super hard. Retake your windows when they get back. They get a pick. Unlucky. They get another pick. Also unlucky. I guess they had to back up farther. So, yeah, why did Snappin push? I don't know. Either lack of discipline or lack of understanding of how the comp worked. Or they thought they could get it, but I would also classify that as a misunderstanding of how their comp worked. Like, yes, if you can get kills, you should go for it, but also understand that you don't need to and that it's very risky.
They're getting hot. They're getting hot.
Oh, he doesn't even get the kill. Oh, no. Penguin. Still go for 2 fights. Let the respawn out. And then you can burst out with, like, ults and stuff. At least you try to force ults out of Pepper, just so that they can't just use like 5 ults and try to break last. Are they trying to get 2 fights? It's getting close. Rama's in point. Rama's doing nothing. You can go. You can push up. You try to win the fight before the. I mean, Card's kind of at last, so I don't know. This is a 1-fight territory. And now I actually really like that rotation with the Rom. It means that the Strix has to leave, but the Strix is fine with leaving. And now the Card's at last fight, and Snappin aren't set up for last fight. You always want your DD on high ground for last fight. You want Penguin over here with the Atlas, I mean, she does. And Onara's fine. She just has to leave early if she gets forced out, which she does. She pops the R. She's gonna run to cooldown soon. Kin's in spawn, which is fine. Good setback. Kin doesn't care about core result and spawn. She's just going to peek in and out. Grover has to find out, which is a bit of an issue, but it's not the worst. Nobody's getting healed though, which is kind of rough. Anara ult. Anara's like way too far up, man. Anara's way too far up. Like that corner is really bad. I mean, you're just too far. You can play like right here, honestly. Play this corner. Try to not get bullied by the Victor Strix. And at this point, they're just trying to. I mean, you have to have an Atlas contest. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, this goes in. So, Snappin didn't get the 2 fights. That was literally a 1-fight defense because Penguin messed up his ult, right? He got picked, unlucky. But they didn't. They only got one fight there. Oh, nice finds. So they need to be more aggressive, or if they do try to get that one fight, try to reset for the last choke better.
Capture point spawn
For the
in
mid,
15 seconds.
Snap and played it well the first time. Actually, I didn't know. Never mind. Sorry, Inara pushed. Please don't push. Don't push if you don't need to. Like, it's risky, unnecessarily risky. If you're Pepper, cool. Keep punishing mistakes. How do else change this? I mean, Snapping can literally just hit 4 alt buttons and try to win that way. Maybe not all at the same time. Early Zen ult before he builds soul armor.
Okay, real talk.
Oh no, dude, this is how they win. Dude, he actually just got 100 to 0 in like a second. Better trade, that's fine. Anar just can chill, and why is Atlas pushed up? Why are they pushing? Your Grover can't even heal you there. You're feeding into their LOS. You don't have to push. Do they? Why are you pushing? You have Atlas, Anar, Grover. Can that, like, nothing on your team wants to move. Anar just like, I'm in my corner. I am happy. I have found my happy spice. Now this is kind of rough for Pepper, because now they have to actually contest. Okay, cool. Like, they can't contest super well. Like, they got it to 30%, which is like the benchmark for one fight territory. But taking space, I guess. Oh. What is Anara doing? What's going on here? Big step back. He can try to punish that. Zen has a super nice angle. This is why having Barn control is really nice. Kinessa wins the 2v1, the sniper duel. I'm getting my words mixed up. Bones does a good job of taking point. Because the Victor's under pressure and the Strix is dead, they just walk up. This is the time to push. They literally have Corvus and Torvald up. And now you just hard zone and win. Yeah, I mean, that was really good from Snapping. The Zen and Barn, so if you're Pepper, what you want to do, if there's something in Barn, you can either force them out, or you can try to take your own angle. So you can either push out stage, right, or you can take Barn. Like, but you can't just sit there and let the Zen farm you. You have to do something about it. Otherwise, Zen is going to farm you. So the weakness of Snapping's comp is that they do have a Grover, so the push is a bit weird, right? Because it means that only the Kin can go left, otherwise, like, the off tank just gets poked out. King gets a really good angle, big root. Ooh, I can't believe Corvus lived. Guillotine actually gets a kill. Oh my god, dude. How long has it been since he's seen Guillotine Zing kill a ROM? But Pepper are getting 2 fights, right? Let's not stagger, shall we? Hold up. Don't let the cart move for free. Just kidding, they're kind of letting cart move for free. That's not great. But they got that one fight, wasted some time. They didn't win it, but that's not the important bit. So now it's a bit weird with 2 DDs. You can have the Victor play top left, but you want the Zen with the NR there. You can have your Grover push point, then the Grover vines up when it becomes too dangerous, and then you try to win the fight, and then you can push cart. So ideally, you have an NR Zen top left. Atlas can shield for the Kin and the Grover, and then you try to, ideally in this comp, I think you bully the ROM. Just bully the ROM, force his dash out, and step back him, kill him, and all of a sudden they don't have a tank. They have Torvald. Torv's not a tank. Torv is like some hybrid, which is exactly what they're doing. They're just bullying the ROM. However, let's talk about space again. They just decided, hey, we're just gonna leave top left completely open for Pepper to push through, and then Victor actually uses that space, gets an ult, kills the kid. All of a sudden, they cannot contest this Strix anymore. Strix just farms everything because reasons. They were about to kill the ROM, right? They were about to kill the ROM, who was playing, you'll notice, in the another spot than the Inara was, until the Victor just took advantage of the space that Snappin handed them on a silver platter, and now it's kind of one fight territory. You might, if this is the last fight, like, it's Ice Mines. This map is freaking so long, man. By the time you get back, once the time the fight actually resolves, like, this is one fight. You're fine to commit in here if you're Snapping. I mean, it's not great, but again, what does Zen do on cart? Like, he can't ever push the ROM. The ROM just goes behind the box, and all of a sudden Zen can't push, because if he pushes, Strix is right there, he just dies. So I don't like the Zen being on high. If you see the Zen not on high, you literally just soft reset. You leave. You have time. Get your Zen on the damn high ground. Like, have him contest the Inara. Like, if something ever pushes up past here, like if Inara walls the Torv off right now, he just dies. Right? Because if Zin Inara's is up here, Torv is right here, Inara walls right here, Torv dies. And then you can run over these people. Victor has to leave. And then, once you've secured control of this area, then you can push cart. Then you can push cart. Inara dropped. Oh, who's ready for Victor to do the exact same thing again? Dude, they're watching it this time. Rom is kind of in main for some reason. Dude, this is such a rough. Victor Strix, like, it doesn't even matter what tanks you have. Victor Strix Ice Mines. This is gonna be ridiculous. That's a fine trade. It's Ice Mine, so you need to win this quick. Yo, Kin is. Did Anar die? Did they see 9? Did they see 9? I'm sorry, I have to rewind this. What happens here? So Kin takes this uber aggressive angle. I actually didn't see that. I was looking at Kin. Oh, they pushed it. Oh, I'm high. Oh, because they killed the ROM, and then there was pressure over there. Then I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. So that push from Kin, I don't feel like it should have worked. TPing into 3 people, we saw how that worked. First round with the Victor. But I mean, I guess Pepper didn't focus her down, so she lived. And that distraction kind of, I mean, like, yes, Torvald messed up. But also, Torv just dies anyways. He just dies anyways, right? So, like, big mistakes there are, like, the ROM, like, not really knowing what his job is. Not knowing, like, how that's going to work out. And then C9ing, obviously, from Pepper. Not great. And then Snapping not really playing that super well, honestly. Like, the ROM fed and they took advantage of it, but, like, they didn't win that because they positioned super well. If Pepper played that correctly, then Snappin didn't. They only won it because Pepper played worse. But it's 2-2. Items are going to be online. Master items are going to be online. Not as much master as I expected. Like, if you're winning on master item, or winning on ice mines, I feel like you have to press master item, like force them to buy it, and just mess up their item economy. Anara's gonna push again. Why are we pushing? Why are we pushing round 2? Grover played in Barn. I don't really like it, but I mean they're pushing Barn, so it makes sense. So like they make this rotation, right? They make this rotation. Remember what happened? What's supposed to happen when this sort of aggressive play like takes place? You have this Zin and Barn. I mean, Zin's going for the Strix, so like it's fine. They're playing this fine. Yeah. Is he playing? No, he's running into the backline by himself. No, hold up. Penguin's feeding. What am I talking about? Don't try to 1v2. Bad. Do Q mad? Okay, the Victor was with him, but he died. So good target prile by Snapping, I guess. He can send him back, maybe. I mean, overall, okay, they're responding to the aggression fine. Penguin fed, but it was enough to prevent the Strix follow-up, I guess. Good wall. Does he die for that? Nice root. Dude, that was really good from Snappin. Really good individual play. And Pepper has reset because Snappin have no time on the board. Please don't overextend and feed. Why is Inara your off tank? Put your Inara back on point, please. It's working. Tanks are gonna swap. Just kidding, they're holding hands. Tanks are holding hands. Barn is open. Windows is open. Tanks are actually just sitting on point, letting King get ran at. But Atlas was by himself, so like, yeah. Then I realized that, hey, I should probably be Barn. Atlas dies because, hey, he was on point. And then, what is Snappin doing? Do they... This is not how your comp works. What are you like? This is just dumb. It's dumb. Your Alice is on point. Your Nara's in the offlane. Nothing was stopping from the windows. Barn was open. Literally everywhere was open. Your tanks were on point. If Pepper had a better comp here, they could have pushed up. They could have denied touch. You lose this if Pepper has a better comp. It's not no bueno. No bueno. The aggressive play works because Strix is in Barn for some reason. Why is Strix in Barn? Like, yes, he's there. You punish him. That's fine. But that's punishing a mistake, not a good play. This game makes me sad. Neither team is playing, like, super well. Like, before you get to the level of what I would consider good play, you have to, like, fix all the, like, basic mistakes. And what I would consider basic mistakes is, like, knowing how comps work and knowing, like, how to react to things. Like, knowing how to react. If one team 5 pushes a lane, what do you do? If you can't answer that question, and if everyone on your team can't answer that question in 1 second, then you have a ways to go. Every single player in this game should know how to respond to that. They should know what spaces. They should know how these comps work. They should know their role in these comps. They don't, and if they do, it's not showing. So, yeah, like this is not. Is this the best North America has? Don't answer that. Don't. It is. It is. um, oh, we have 3 more games to go. Oh, spoilers. You might have seen this set. This game goes to 5 games. So, ROM fed, soft reset, set up for last. Fine call. Because ROM fed. Nobody really on right side to follow up again. Ooh, dude! Imagine if there was a Zin with this Inara. This Tor Victor. I mean, maybe he's dead. Maybe he's not dead. Bernard has to drop. We have seen this before, right? The VOD hasn't glitched. I like that ult on the bomb though. That's really good. That's like identifying what went. I think that's smart. That's a really good ult. It's not just ooh I kill tank. That's like the right target. It's the right. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the right time. Your kin just died, but it's knowing what wins you the game at the very least. Unfortunately, you have also just given it. Like, if you're planning to do that, then that's like alt the ROM. That's fine. But then send the Atlas top left. Send the Nars in. Like, if they're not contesting it, which like Corvus is the one there, and he just TP'd there. If they're holding last properly, they're not really gonna have anyone top right. They can't have anyone up there for comp. Sometimes you'd have like an Anara there, just contesting, then she drops like what Snappin did. Like the Anara didn't back up far enough for Snappin, but having the main tank up on the top right corner is fine. But usually there's not going to be anyone there, especially if an Atlas, right? Like if they're there, they get low, they have to leave, they get setback, they die, right? And then all of a sudden they don't have a main tank, offlane has to go to point, and then bad things happen. So you can literally send your Atlas in top left just to play slow, right? Like just him. You could send like the girl over there too, if you really want. Have your Inara Zen walk down main. Kin can take top right for free because it should be uncontested, and if it is, then you respond accordingly and you punish that. And your Kin can take top right for free, get that angle, take that sniper fight. Alice and Grover can watch top left and just live. Go alt the ROM, walk the card in. Torv has to go contest. The Atlas Grover can like poke for free. Kin's poking for free this entire time. I like the play. It's the right idea, right? That's the sort of mistake that's okay in my books, right? It's like the right idea, but it's like it could have been a bit better. Could have been a bit better executed. Not really. They didn't really take their time with it, and now like they've wasted one of the biggest tools. The only thing with what I said is I don't know if the Alice and Grover can hold off top left, but you can Alice ult it. So buy time. That's all you need to do. And then if they are contesting it, then Kin can take top right for everything. So we're really gonna try here. Pretty default rollout. Nara's in top left, both together. Atlas not really shielding for his kin, which is yeah, a little small thing, small thing. And they get a pick. Unlucky. Okay, this is done. This is done unless kin kills free. Nara's gonna have to drop. Victor can cross angle the kin. Kin is like having to deal with two things from two separate angles. Unlucky on the touch there. Unlucky on the touch. You have to like be on it as overtime starts, which is separate than mids. But unfort. They don't have Zenalt, which is actually pretty big. So snapping, for the love of God, don't push unless you absolutely can't. Like 90% chance you say you win that. And Pepper just snapping's not gonna do that. Punish whatever mistake they make. Look for your ults early. It's free. I don't know. It's Ice Mines, man. Frickin' Ice Mines. Any dismounters? Rom dashing, he gets set back. Rom's just holding the gates, man. He's just holding the gates. Imagine if Inara was on point. Pops, DR sits on point. DR ends, she leaves. Cool, 10% for snapping. Rinse and repeat. I think a bird just flew into a window. Not into the game like Hyro. Huh. I like hearing spooky noises at night. The fact that Inara isn't on cap here is actually really bad. Like snapping look like they're playing to win the fight first rather than like take the slow poke fight. Like what's happening here? No one's on point. But what's Inara doing? She's not doing anything. She could be on point. You don't have to get much cap percent. You just need to put them on a timer. You just need to like you can literally keep doing this over and over and over and over and over until you force them to come to point. Oh my god. Okay, so Atlas decides that he's gonna leave, and then Rom's like, "Oh hey, I can actually do something now," and does something. Okay, so they kind of actually had to, because they have sort of walked past. Okay, so like this has gotten to the point where this is actually a good pinch now, because as soon as they see the Sonara like and Zen pushing around, they should immediately start pushing stage. Wait, like these people aren't doing anything right now. If everyone's just like ints down towards this Atlas, you can't stop 5 people. It's literally like this fight is a 5v3 for a brief moment. Take advantage of that best you can. And then they just give up the flank anyways. Okay, cool. We don't have to push anymore. We don't like they gave up that space. But Victor has fed. Zen alt bug again, but it works out. 30%. This can be hard zoned. Is Zen fed? Like the draft sucks. What does Pepper do? Or not Zen fed, Victor fed. Like what does Pepper do? Like there's nothing, man. There's nothing. You can try something gimmicky. You can send like 5 people through barn and just like look for an early Rommel, but like what are you gonna do there, man? Your draft is so garbage. There's only so much. There's only so hard free DPS can carry you, right? If you can't contest point. Game free. Let's see what draft has in store for us. What map are we on? This is gonna be Pepper's pick. We're on Bright Marsh. Let me see a Shaolin band again. They've been loving this. They've played this Torv ROM every game, so Snappin might want to consider banning it. Give him the Genos. It's not great not great to give console teams Genos. But if you're taking them out of their comfort zone, go for it. Vivian ban, yeah, yeah. So already, predicting the draft from Pickled Pepper: Strix, Rom, Grover, Torvald, Lux. Unless one of those gets banned right now. I assume Genos ban, and then Corvus isn't picked or picked for snapping. Sure, Devil ban. So we're gonna see Genos this game. Or we should. We should see Genos. Genos Grover is a really it's a really good map for Grover. You know, just should be a Genos. Is a Genos. Ah, my prediction is wrong. So if you're snapping here, if you want to keep playing this like really slow Anara Atlas, like I really love Anara Atlas right now. I think it's really good. So they decide not to though. They decide to go for Corvus, take away the ROM. Early ROM can be countered. Torv was banned. Torv was banned, so like that number one counter is gone. Shaw's gone as well. So like really, there's only Atlas, Grover, big game Cassie as well, but can't stop his dash. Take Strix early. I guess if they banned Kin, they felt like they had to. Also early Corvus, so Snap and showing that they did sometimes don't want to give Pickled Pepper double mark support. But like they have, so I don't know. Term, very generic, leave the drafts open. Still looking to flex a little bit. Victor's still up. I wonder why they took Strix. Probably because he does better into flanks. Take the Andro away. It's a good console flank. Take the Inara, so they're yeah, cool. Interesting that they took Term over Inara from Pepper. I guess it's because of the Genos. Also just better ult. So they do take the Victor. They also take the Grover. Good god, this is a comp. This is literally just like a slightly better version of the Icebound's comp. It's literally free console DPS. And like that's the comp. Except this time it can stand on point a little bit better. It's free console DPS. These DPS are gonna be like pocketed, they're gonna be healed, they're gonna be getting peeled for, they're gonna be getting like all they're getting siphoned for, they're gonna get big roots. Like they're gonna get all this the help they need. But like the rest of the comp it's still like not a good comp. Like these DPS can be insane if you're not very, very careful with how you play into these DPS, they are going to kill you. But it's not a good comp fundamentally, right? Like this will roll teams who like make mistakes, but like Snappin can play at that level. Zen, how are you trying to play this? If you're snapping, I don't like the Zen. So if you're snapping, I feel like you want to take apps really aggressively because if Pepper take apps, then their comp doesn't really take apps because then they eventually have to send term to point, and at that point, then your offlane, your ROM can contest apps. They get ran over by the ROM. So I don't think Pepper can then go apps ever. So I think you want something that can take their apps, something with a bit of range that can force the Strix and Victor out of window. Um, but now you don't have any range. You don't need much range. You don't need to win a poke fight. You just need to put some pressure on them. This draft cannot put pressure on anything. It's either dive or it's take advantage of all the space that Pepper is going to give up. They can play it both ways. That's fine. I've seen this game before. I'm not gonna lie. So, oh, I don't have to be fast forwarding, right? We are watching the game in a different way. This game is also why space is important. If I remember right, this third game, yeah. Okay, right march, wasn't it? Yes. So yeah, there's one way that Snap I got the team names backwards. That Pickled Pepper can play this. And there are two ways that Snappin can play this. The name does have it does have an apostrophe. Okay. There's two ways that Snappin can play this. Okay. So Pepper can really only play a tree comp. They can only sit around like this sort of area. They can't really venture out too far. And they just want to burn point. They just want to burn point. Victor, Strix, like they have so much point burn. Snappin, there's two ways they can play this. They can either look for a dive, right? Like have Andro go docks and just like dash over, and then the ROM goes in, and the Zen goes in, the Corvus goes in, and the Inara, like everyone just walks in at the same time, and you try to kill something. Or you just say, all right, there's no way they can actually contest us. Like if we like play like really cheeky angles, like play here, you can play in here. What are they gonna do? Right? You can just get more angles on them, and because you have more angles, that usually more angles means better point burn.
battle has begun.
So let's see how Snap and decide to play it. Yeah, so I did say I saw this game. I have not viewed it from third person yet. It's like Andrew again taking this position. And it's just gonna, this is gonna be the slowest game. Might be a better angle to do it from here. Let's see where the line's getting drawn. Jeez, man. Stigma. Stigma. Okay, careful, careful. Rama's making space. There's literally just gonna be like... It has been... It's less than a minute and he has ult. Jeez, that is insane. Term can't stand on point right now. Like, the Zen's just gonna farm him.
We gotta come out fast. We gotta hit him hard.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Dude, there's an angle there? Oh, he just stealthed down. Okay. Okay. Good play. That's actually a really good play from the Strix. That actually limits a lot of what Snapping can do, because all of a sudden that position becomes a lot more dangerous. Because, like, if the Strix just stealths down there, like, you can't really push that as a Zen, right? You can't really push that. I like Pepper's comp a bit better. Snapping might have to end up diving. Andrew gets picked. Here comes a little bit of a dive, but overall, Rama's making space. Can Zen take advantage of it? Bones taking some aggro. Ram gets burned too quick. And now they have more numbers, so they just win.
Get after him. Hold, brothers.
Gotta hit that this Pepper comp is actually working. Cause like, okay, here's what I wanted Snapping to draft, right? Instead of a Zen, take something that you can take the ROM and you can put it right here, like a Cassie Leon. I don't freaking know, but something that can, like, you don't need to even like win this super hard. You could just go boop, let them know that you're here, and okay, that's, you know, sit back and just kind of boop, 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 and just kind of take some pressure off your NR. Take advantage of the space that your ROM was controlling earlier. Penguin needs to stop Zen ulting in front of the entire team, but good trade, I guess. Or result, they're playing aggressively, and I mean, it works, I guess. Your tank guy narrowly sucks. Rom was able to make a lot of space, and ults being used also helps. Let's see how they full zone this. Ideally, you play 2 offlanes on this map when you're full zoning, just because main becomes a bit of a death pit if you have 2 offlanes. So they're playing this well. See 5 people here, and ours getting low, so you want to see the ROM and the Zen start to push, right? You want to see them start to push like yesterday. Whereas the Zen follow up, the ROM is making space, but can't actually kill anything. Bit of a disconnect there, and not a quick enough rotation. Because, like, if the NR is taking aggro, right, like, that means that the ROM and Zen should be free. Like, if they're calling, no, shoot the NR, then, like, the ROM and Zen show up and be like, hey, you should shoot us or else we kill you. Then they have to, like, make a decision, and it's, like, coordination and, you know, all that good stuff. That's really aggressive. They're all actually just sitting on tree. Like, letting your tank go in front of you first. Also, try not to 2v4. That's a general, I don't know, life advice. Don't 2v4. That's not life advice, that's just for paladins. And any other competitive video game you might find yourself playing. Can you tell it's late? My brains are going everywhere. So this is going to be near impossible for Snapping to defend. Victor Strix is just going to roll everything. Like, there's going to be so much space to control. Dude, everything is already low by the time it leaves spawn. Stigmas has to use dashes and hide. Rom's doing his best to make space. He's just dead. Nar ult, a bit late. Is there follow-up? Yes, but at the double support, they just live. Dude, this is so hard for snapping. There's no like cheeky angles they can take. The dive wasn't super cleanly executed because they went down main instead of going like they actually went through Strix and Victor LOS. They spend alt, so it's a 5v5. Rom is making space right now, so what did the BTS need to be like following up on that? They're trying to burn Term. Does Term die before the Rom dies? No. Does Term live? Yes. Okay, so I'm not sure how Andro died. But if Andro's around and either like it looks like the call was Rom goes in, burn the Term. That's fine. But they didn't actually have enough people to split the Term and kill the Term in time before the Rom just like fell over. So fine call. But I mean, I didn't say Andrew died. If Andrew lives, maybe. Also, you could also Corvusalt. That's a really good place to Corvusalt if you're trying to burn Cap. Like, if they're just spend an alt there. I mean, they spent Zen, but then Term spent, so like you can, if you really want to hold, you need to spend more alts there because they're committing as well. So for mids, yeah, I kind of want to say a dive from snapping. You have Andy ult. As long as the wrong goes in first, should be good. Get some Illuminate on someone. Get the Illuminate on the wrong. Call out where the Strix goes. Ult if you need to. Even if they have Resolve. They don't have Resolve. So you just Rom ult them and they die. Setting up for it. I'd like to see the Zen go with the Rom. Here comes the dash. There's the Andy ult. Doesn't actually kill anything. Where's the Zen? The Rom didn't really go in far enough. Looks like they're turning. Call has burned the Term. Worked. That was really good. Like a really good 180 from snapping. Does Anar live? Oh, please tell me Anar lives. Bones baiting out a shot from the Victor. That dive didn't even kill anything. But that space they made let them turn the Anar. Really good job from snapping. Just like actually really good. I would like to see the Zen with a bit more. Zen in that action a bit more. But it works out. I don't like that snapping aren't resetting to their original rollout because like your original rollout was your original rollout for a reason. So you really good to get back to it instead of playing Sniper Rom in your backline. Stigma again doing this thing where he goes in, gets low because he's feeding, uses all free dashes, uses reversal, and gets out when he like yeah. Why does he do that so often? Turn. He just kind of fell over because I guess Zim burned him.
Defend the payload. Quit whining and get on the
Full
payload.
comeback helps as well. Interesting, no Grover ult for the Term. Yeah. Good job from snapping. I don't think Pepper can respond to that. Like, I think your options are Grover ult and try to have the Strix and Victor burn the Andy, maybe. Try to kill him before he gets your ult off. Then Rom ult kind of counters that, so you need to wait for the late game. You can try to Grover ult for the Andy ult and just ego him. You can have your Anar lead, or have your Term lead point earlier. Or have ult. So again, 5 people literally just holding. Look at them! I've seen more people playing together when they're playing Pirates. So like if you want to punish if you're snapping, you have 2 options, right? I've said this before, you either match them or you send pressure somewhere else. So either everyone out snapping needs to push free, or they need to have a flank somewhere. They've chosen the flank route, but unfortunately they had they just you know what that felt like? That felt like those you know when you hear about like World War I charges where it's like, alright men, we go, and then they ring the whistle and then like they'll come over the ladders and like machine guns happen. It felt like that. That's what that felt like. That was the charge of the like brigade there from snapping. Like that was theoretically right. That was theoretically the right play. It just went to shit real fast. I don't know. I don't know what you changed there. Maybe you need to look for alts. Maybe you wait for Grover ult to be back. Maybe someone wasn't in the fight as much as they should have been. Maybe the Rom didn't go in before the tanks enough. Kurt's kind of free pushing. Careful. Okay, if you stagger them here, it goes in. So this Pepper need to be resetting or getting out. Genos doesn't have the build. Doesn't have the build that lets him get back to high ground. Good build though. not using range card at all, which is interesting. I think I have it at 1. I'm not sure if it does anything at 1, but it's what I'm used to, so I'm not going to change it now. Really good angles from snapping, but unfortunately, usually the reason you play below there, right, is so that if the other team wants to shoot you, they have to wide peek, right? They have to like expose their full bodies. They have to like swing out to here, and then your DPS who are in main can shoot them. Unfortunately, this isn't much pressure. This is the only thing that's actually going to stop them from wide peeking. There's no reason that Pepper can't punish this. So like, yes, it's a good play and it's better than the other options, but Pepper can definitely punish it. They get angles on turn though, I guess, which is actually really smart. Turn out the Zen, yeah, Zen bug again. This is like happening more times than not. And their DPS die, but they killed the term. Again, identifying the win condition. Like, burn the tank, cart goes in, they burn tank, doesn't even matter that they lose their DPS. They achieve their win condition. If you're snapping again, you don't have Andrew ult, which sucks a bit, but you have Corvus ult, which is like almost as good. Just kidding, it's much worse, but it does the same general idea. You have something go over top, you can still have the Andy go over top if you want. You look to dive. If you get kills, great. If you don't, turn for the term. If the term isn't in a position where you can like turn and burn him, that means he's like sitting back, then just send your Renard point. No, if they're literally all sitting back, they're not going to win the fight ever. So just chill. Just wait it out. Have your Renard, pop DR, go cap, DR ends, leave. Nobody peek. Rinse and repeat. If they ever show themselves, if they ever put themselves in a diveable position, then you go. Then you dive. So are they setting up for it? Nobody watching docks. Penguin gets through for free. Term gets forced out. Cool. Play slow. Save your cooldowns. And ours free capping right now. We're good. We vibing. We have point control. No need to do anything. They pop Victor. Yeah, it's unlucky. Now they lose because they're down 1. They just run forward because there's no damage to stop them from running forward. And now it's a question of can they retake. They lose Stigma. Rom is their toucher. They have Grover. They have Genos is already moving over towards the Rom for lift. Very good. Yeah, there's no way they get this. Zen is the toucher, maybe. Does he get it? He gets it. Does he live? No way. Look for an R alt. This is like desperation from snapping. Or... Yeah, no, it's a 5v4, and like, there's no way in hell. There's no way. Not against this comp. Not against that comp. You know what's funny? If Pepper weren't console, right? If they didn't have console DPS, this comp would be significantly worse. They just have less damage output. Here comes the dive. Oh my god, turn around and Rommel, please. There we go, dude. There we go, dude. I feel there's so many times where I see good Rommel opportunities, and like the Rom just doesn't do it. But that was like a really good. Like the Rom went in early. The Rom went in before the DPS. Soaked up all the attention, all the resources, all the damage, and the DPS followed up. Good Andrew, good, yeah, good. Pepper kind of stacked for it though, but I mean they kind of had to because they're comp. And now we're full holding if we're snapping, so that's cool. Rom kind of going in when you don't need to, but I mean I guess they saw Andrew or saw the Victor, so like cool, killed the Victor. And he gets the kill on the Grover, and we're just kind of running them over. Strix stealths down main and kills Zin. Fine. Holy. And now you can back up here. You can give a little bit of space. Keep the full hold going, but wait on your respawns. Rom, again, making space. You want to follow up on this. Good Anar ult. Good Grover ult. Kind of just a slugfest. Penguin's finally back. Committing ults. Minute left. I don't know if I like committing the ult. I like that he went in. Right, Rom and the tanks are making a lot of space. I don't like the ult, and I think they should have backed up when Penguin died. But Pepper's playing it as well as they can. That pick was on Zin was like really nice actually. Knowing that you're gonna die as Strix, so going for that pick. I assume he was on low ground. If he dropped, it was bad because then he's staggering. But if he doesn't get the pick, then he's just feeding. But snapping, good full hold. Yikes. Got deleted. It doesn't matter. There's still 2 fights. Make the last heart fight happen in overtime. Just look to burn the term. Get lots of angles on them. Are they winning this? Yeah, the tanks are actually just walking them down. What the hell? I was expecting this fight to be lost as soon as Penguin died, but they're winning. I honestly don't know why. I wasn't even looking. I wasn't paying too much attention. I thought it was done. Good job from snapping, I guess. Alright. Wow, wouldn't we really like to have Andrew ult to go in with our ROM this time? And maybe we shouldn't have spent it when there was 60 seconds left and we were at their spawn. So aside from that, Pepper can, well, they don't have Grover, which is a bit unlucky because he can't really respond to the Andrew ult as well. Yeah, I'd just have the term not play on point just in case Snappin does go for the dive. Then you have like the term helping with the dive, and you try to win the fight that way. Try to take that 5v5. And then like, and then if they don't, then yeah, you can go to point, force the dive, and then try to peel for the dive. But you know, don't give the other team a chance to mess up. I don't like that Sigma is used as cooldowns, but they're just recapping, so you don't need to do anything. That's a pick, unlucky. Good angle from the Victor, but that's because the Andrew died, I guess. So the Andrew really messed up here. They're trading alts. Pepper's kind of winning. Interesting choice to not soft reset from Pepper. I mean, he killed the turn, but like, yeah, of course he ults, right? Like, that's not worth trading for a turn with ult. Now at this point, it's go 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 full desperation, but they don't have touch, do they? Oh, they do have touch. Okay, so soft reset. Revolt kills nothing. Here comes the dive. Zin is turning for point instead of. Okay, soft reset from Pepper. So Snappa need to leave, and now they've kind of wasted ults. You have Andrew ult again, so you probably look to set up a dive based off that. Or you look to just burn the Inara because you have 99. She literally has to be on point. So Snappa needs to look for an early dive here, and Pepper's just looking to burn the Inara. This is a close game. This is a good balance here. Sigma using his dashes early, burning the Inara. Inara is very, very low. Andrew trying to burn the term instead. They get the kill. Not a bad call. Not a bad call using Andrew out there. I mean, hey, that's also an option. That worked really well. Oh my god. Was Penguin emoting? I swear to god. I'm gonna kill Penguin if he was emoting there. That was dumb. Prioritizing BM over winning. That was actually a really good play from Snap, and I like that. Have the Andy ult. Especially if you knew he was out of Siphon. Like I didn't notice if he was out of Siphon or anything, but I mean he had to touch too. Like Snap and we're getting up in percent, so that was a good game. I still don't like Pepper's draft, but good game. All right, next draft. This is gonna be Pepper's pick again, and we were on Stone Keep. Manser, Shaw, Vivian, Kin, Torvald. Is this the same as last game? They are. So, Genos again. Is this the same? I'm having flashbacks. So Pepper really likes their Genos Grover on this map, I think. With double flank, which I think double flank is a really good combo this map. Just one on each side of keep and just surround them. Good stuff. Good stuff. Did I? This is literally the same draft? It's the same draft? Oh, it's different. The timelines have split. We have an R instead of term. Huge differences. And are we going to see... What did they pick here? They picked Victor, didn't they? No, they did Strix. This is literally the same draft. It's literally the same draft, aside from term for an R, which like... Or an R for term, but that's not a difference. They're the same character. This is literally the same draft. It's literally the same draft. Oh, there's a difference. There's a difference. Okay, our first real difference. So Snapping going for some range, trying to free up some space for the Victor with the ROM. Into the Strix though. Pepper could also go like a Grover if they really want to, or they could go something more flanky, or focusing on Zing isn't the worst here. They do go the Grover. I wonder if they go the Andrew or Zin. Give them my mark, have the flank play and keep sort of play sort of distracty. They go for the Lex, also an option. Not as mobile, but does more damage. A bit more cheesy, if I'm being honest. Lex is kind of a corny character, if I do say so myself. And Snap and take this in. Not sure why. I guess they want to set up dives with the ROM. Maybe have an alt for the Inara, but the Inara is always going to be an LOS of the Strix Grover, so I think you just die. But yeah, I guess we'll see have to see how they get to play it. So it's Stonekeep, right? So Pickled Pepper is almost definitely playing Church. Lex might be looking for some janky stuff by himself. Snapping can go either side. You can play double offlane if you wanted, and do like ROMs in and keep, and then term and play. Or no, you'd probably do term Zin and Church, Rom, Victor, Corvus, and keep. Or no, Corvus would go Church, but Rom and Victor and keep, and then you can sort of respond to what they do. And the side that doesn't meet them gets the push really hard for free. So because again, that's a Grover. Double support. They're going to be stacking. Aside from the Lux. Aside from the Lux. So game 4. Game 4. So it is now. What's Pepper won that last game, so. For this game, make sure that the Lux is getting value. Make sure he isn't getting picked off by himself for snapping. Make sure that you aren't hard losing the poke fight. Make sure that your ROM and Zin are synced together. You can also have the Zin go solo Church, but that's a bit riskier, and it means your ROM is kind of by himself. So I don't really like that option, but it's something they could do. So they're gonna. This is pretty. Yeah, this is exactly. Yes. Lux is probably gonna flank around, because otherwise the Victor just kind of burns him. Not really looking for any dives right now. Sort of feeling it out. There's the dive. Zin not with him, so all the space is not being used. Imagine if Zin just like whirls in with him. Like, yeah, maybe he takes a shot, but like if he goes in just after the ROM, the Strix probably shoots the ROM. Grover's dead. Ah, there it is. Bit late though. Bit late. Bit late. So there's the collapse. Okay, they kind of scuffed it a little bit. I like the Lux pinching. Wait, yeah, Lux doing his own thing, responding to the aggression really well. Yeah, actually, Pepper reacted to that really, really well. And now Corvus does too. Yeah, that was really good. That was like textbook how to respond to aggression. At Nara left, they like the people in Church just kind of left. Lex pushed because he was the other. Like you got like 3 things from Pepper, right? You got like the backline, Genos, Grover, Strix. You got the main tank, and then you got the Lex. And if one of those things get pushed, the other 2 have to respond. Like they have to, right? So the NR left and the Lex pushed, or the NR peeled and the Lex pushed, right? Like that's like perfect, literally perfect. And from snapping, the ROM went in so much earlier, right? He went in so much earlier. That was really the mistake. That was it. That was the mistake. Is that they didn't follow. They like the timing wasn't there. So I don't know if it wasn't called or something or whatever, but Snappin' actually successfully getting 2 fights on Stonekeep, which is difficult to do. Difficult to do, assuming they don't stagger here. Please don't stagger here, because it's kind of difficult to bust out of like this choke. But if you can, you get to waste like a bit of time, you know. Because now Snappin' can just reset, die on cart, you know, and just leave. I think Penguin got headshot after he dove something and it got Grover ulted. Oh god, he's gonna stagger so badly. I mean, okay, fine. Fine. They're kind of pushing out of their choke point, which isn't the best. But you know, like that's why, because sometimes you overextend and sometimes you die for it. Winnable for Pepper. Like an R would just be point most likely anyways. Like you still push up here and take your poke fight. Try to run these people over, man. Still 4v3, 4v4 now. Okay, maybe you want to reset actually. Oh, that's not. That's. Oh, let's go. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, General Assault on the Corvus is so strong. So strong.
Okay, real talk. I'm gonna stop that guy.
Bomb gets run over. Like, I mean, Strix was a bit far up. Or not Strix. Genos. Not Genos. Corvus. Corvus was a bit far up. But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they killed the support. Pepper ran forward. Cart goes in. That's all there is to it, man. If Snappin really want to hold, they need to spend ults. And then Pepper matched with their ults, and it still probably goes in. You just force ults out of them. Good Gen Assault. There you go. That's it. That's it. You could argue that like maybe the Victor should have helped the ROM out a bit more instead of trying to burn point. Just like, yeah, I think you'd be right. But like maybe if you Victor ults, maybe you buy enough time for the course to get back, maybe. But like that's such small things. I don't know if it's worth going over in this video. But, I mean, they could have probably played better, and then Pepper probably could have played it better. But whatever. Master Riding. Master Riding out an hour. So otherwise, same rollouts. Is the dive going to be cleaner? Is how is it going to change with ults? Zen is going church by himself. So they're pinching on both sides, which I don't hate. I don't hate this. Now the Zing gets to take a fight with a Corvus mark, which is like, that's what Corvus does well. Oh, they didn't. And they have Jones Grove on the other side. But look, oh my god, this is actually working so well. Dude, if he gets crushed, he's looking for ult here. Terms of 100% looking for ult. Gets in the doorway. Forcing them way back. So you can either, I mean, this is the point where you turn for an R, right? Like, look how much space you have. They're literally fighting in their spawn. He gets to kill the Genos, and R falls over anyways, despite the tanks not helping. Herm is actually 2 HP. I really like that rollout from Snap, and I didn't really think of it, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty much like that's the sort of that's the double flank thing I was talking about earlier. It's just from keep to church instead of from church to keep. Huh. Yeah, I like that. Pepper also trying to get 2 fights. Pick on Term, who was up a bit too far. Job on Bones, but leaving Kurt. Knowing that something gonna push out a fire. But Bones also gets a pick on Genos, so it's a 4v4, so Peppers start walking backwards. There's an ult. If you're Pepper, it's just a garbage fight. You're not really trying to win it. You're just wasting time. Waste 30 seconds. Is he Crush? He is. The Victor, I don't know, Victor just kind of farmed them, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's no good way to take a fight here, right? Like, this is not a good fight to take. But you take it anyways because it just wastes time. And you still get a solid fight at last choke, assuming you play it well and don't stagger like the Strix just did. So now how to snap and push this? You can have the Victor play top, and Zen can get a cross angle on the NR like he is right now. Unfortunately, 2 of your teammates just fell over. I didn't even pay attention to that, so guess it's a reset. If you're Pepper, you probably just back up. You clean these people up. Once they stop dying, you back up and hold last. Yeah, now you back up. Now you back up. Right? Right. Yes. Good Pickled Pepper. So I'd like for them to have the Inara top right, just because like she's not really like this fight isn't going to be decided by who's contesting cart better. And then for snapping, I'd like to see them have the turn push out top so we can siphon for it, not the Xin, before the Victor. Um, I still like where the Xin is right now. You don't really care about fire. If the Lux pushes around, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but... Or you can just try to collapse on him. But I mean, hey, traded. This fight is happening everywhere, all at once. But it's OT, so it's not like they can do too much. The DPS from Pepper are down though, so this is actually buying them a lot of time. Buying Snapping a lot of time. Good lift. Saving the KD, doesn't even work. Unlucky. I mean, yeah, I don't like what the Victor was. The Victor died to the Lux, and like if you know the Lux is there, like you at least need the Corvus with the Victor so that he doesn't get ran over. I think the Victor contesting high ground with a Term Siphon is probably your best bet to go there while your Zen burns point. You can have the Rom push out of fire with the Corvus maybe. You do a lot of things. So for Pickled Pepper, if you're getting flanked on two sides by like one person, you need to get rid of one of them. You need to at least get rid of one of them so you have some space, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna get pinched and slowly get beaten down. So either look for them to collapse. They just need to collapse on someone, basically, right? So I'd like to see a bit more aggression from. Oh my God, Stigma's dead. Woodknock just siphoning the. Oh, hang on, what are you doing? Siphoning the spot where Stigma died. Like with the actually 500 ping reaction time. And now we've got Master Riding 2. No, still Master Riding 1. So it's Snapping have to go. Yeah, that was a really dumb ult from Penguin. Like, you just soft reset. Like, you have full comeback. Use your ults all at once. Win the fight. You can hard zone with comeback mechanic. Ooh, if that's not late. If that's not late. And then the Xin went into the 4. Turn the ROM. Okay, so it's a dive again, right? It's a dive again, and it's pulled off well. Where's the Lex? The Lex died. That's what won the fight last time. The Lex going around. But instead, they kind of just take the dive head on and lose. Like most of the time, like that's not a super. Ooh, wait, hold up. I was gonna say most of the time it's not a super important element of team comps of which team, if they were both just like ran at each other, who would win. Sometimes it comes up like in there, right? Like, oh my God.
Alright, they getting hot.
But the Genos kill. Wait, they have touch. Hold up, people are dying. Wait, is it really? Oh, it's. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I got the scoreline wrong. It is 2-1 for Snappin'. Oops. You're probably wondering why this video is a bit longer than if Pepper was gonna win that, eh? God, that's something you got to be aware of is in that Corvus Genos matchup is that Corvus can't get out of Genos ult fast enough with his knife. You can't. I mean, you can if you're like really quick with it. Like you have to be damn quick with it. So going for those picks is good. The fact that Bones was standing in like a default spot on point is not good. You want to be on the edge of point as Corvus in that matchup. Doesn't matter if you can get dismounts. It's like a minor deal to you dying. So that's unfortunate. And then the fight after is just gonna it's gonna be chaos. Like it's gonna be a TDM with callouts. So I don't think it's too worth going over, especially since Snapping we're expecting to hard zone that, rightfully so. So yeah, it's just gonna be scrappy fight. Frog Isle, everyone's favorite map. So this is gonna be Snappin's pick. Interesting, they chose to come to a map with where DDs are super strong. So Vivian ban, cool. You want to get rid of the Viv, that's fine. Kin ban, Pickled Pepper's next ban has to be Strix, or the game becomes insanely more difficult for them, or they pick Victor. That's also an option, but I think even then you favor the team with the Strix. Free snipers, very cool. The other alternative is they let the other team have Strix and play dive. They go like Rom, Ashe, Furia, Eevee, Andro, that sort of comp. However, that's very niche, not very consistent, hard to pull off. Just you can assume they're banning the Strix here. Snapping gets rid of Torv. I like that. Again, you can look for this. in our Atlas sort of comp you've been doing? I'd go for the Victor here. I think having the strongest DD taking the Victor away from the console team is really good here. Like Genos and Corvus are up, yes, but I think Victor's more impactful. Maybe you pick Genos and go Ferocity Grover if they take the Victor. That could also be an option. But if they Corvus Genos, then like you're fine to like Damba and our Atlas. It's a lot of CC, but you go Ying instead if you really want. So what do Pepper do here? I think you definitely take the Victor. I think you take the Inar. I think you try to play off point. Because like those are the two best things for playing off point on this map. Yeah, and then snapping. You're kind of forced to play aggressively now, so like maybe look for I don't know if Pepper play Rom, so or Pepper play Shaw. So there's not very many options like counters to Rom up anymore unless they're gonna play Atlas. But you haven't seen them play that, so you don't know how good they are on it. So you go for an early Rom, try to play really aggressive. You could also just take like Term Leon or Term Grover and just flex the rest of your comp later. Term Rom, so they're flexing their DPS, showing that they kind of want to play aggressively though. So if you're Pepper, you take your off tank and your support here, flex your last DPS. So it's probably going to be something like Ying, and I think Khan would be good. I think Alice would be good. I think those are your two options. Something to stop the Rom Leon. So that seems like a takeaway pick. And Grover instead of a Ying. Grover's a bit more niche on Frog Isle. He really needs a strong offlane to play with to make space for him, but not my personal favorite. Leon I don't like. First of all, you're not flexing your DPS. Like, you're definitely taking a tank. You probably know whether you want Atlas or Khan here. Atlas is like the safe pick. Leon feels like a takeaway pick. They're expecting Snappin to take Leon. Like, oh, we'll just take the Leon. All of a sudden, they don't have any range. Do we take the Grover as well? What are they gonna do? And Snappin's like, yeah, what are they gonna do? Actually, they don't really have any long range DPS left. You know, Cassie, but if you're deep in so deep in your camp pool that Cassie is your DD on Frog Isle, something's probably going wrong. But also, they kind of just screwed over their own comp. Stappen know exactly what they're doing now. They can predict the Atlas or Khan later. They have two counter picks. They effectively know everything that Pickle Pepper's doing, so they can pick something aggressive. In this case, it's going to be something that runs over Leon, right? Leon in danger isn't picked often for a reason. So it's not great. The other option is that they put Leon in main, in which case they don't have anything in danger. You run over danger anyways. So from snapping, you know that your win condition of this game is going to be running over danger, just from that Leon pick. So now you pick things that run over danger, right? You can do BK, you can do Andrew, you can do Shaw. Oh, Shaw, I completely forgot that character existed. Shaw's a fine answer into those DPS. So and Zin. Okay, so they're trying to run over danger with Zin. Yeah, that works. That works. Zin works. I like the draft from Snappin. I don't like it from Pepper. Yes, they can play more aggressively down main. They can play slower, but they're also just gonna lose danger super hard. This draft was theirs, man. It was theirs if they really wanted it. And the con, yes, like you could have taken that later. You see the straws in, you go, okay, cool. We want X into that, or we want Y into that. But no, you showed your hand early, and now they have the option to counterpick you. You could have taken Con Grover. If you really want the Grover, you take the Grover. If you really want the Grover, take the Grover. But please flex your DPS. Anyhow. I like Snappin's draft better, but Pepper's is like, God, if they had anything but Leon, I would give this to Pepper 100%. Give me like a Domba's or Ying Domba, and like a Zin Andro, something more typical for danger. But let's see how this ends. Game 5. Oh, Burrito Shaolin. Sigma has taste. Alright. If I remember this game right, I think I watched this set. Like the broadcast. Which like isn't a very good like first person POV isn't great to get this sort of broadcast. This sort of analysis. But because you only see like 1/10 of the game, right? technically, you know, well, not 1/10, but you know, you get the idea. These teams actually right? No. So if I remember right, Pepper send their Leon to main, and their Victor to Windows, or some version of that, which I don't like because again, like your offline is just gonna get run over.
The battle has begun.
So wait, did I actually? Yeah, okay, I have these names right. They're just on opposite sides of the blue team's coming from, like where the teams are on the UI doesn't match which sides they're on. That's trippy. I don't like that. Oh, and it's 2-2. Ba, 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 ba. So the key to this game, they do have the Leon going main. That is unfortunate. So the key to this game is if the Leon can stop the Zen from long range. So literally this game depends on Leon Q. Or whatever the binding is on controller. Term just eats presence. Term?
Uh-oh, they got the first frag.
Okay.
Enemy dub, look out.
I will say, Khan has a very good matchup into Rom on this map. He literally just, he dashes, pick him up, and yeet. Off the map he goes. But Term kind of fed that mid, so I mean, he like walked forward, turned around, turned Siphon around perfectly to eat Leon Q, then dashed into the entire team and died. He has touch though, so. Big Roots. This Khan's by himself. Run over him. Shaw's doing his best to. Oh, they just turn. Okay, they turn for point. I mean, sure, sure. Sigma's kind of popping. God, just not having a DPS in danger just sucks on this map. Oh my god. Okay, snapping. Please soft zone. You just got 30%. They have respawns. You need to leave. This team is 100% getting touched no matter what you do. Oh my god, how is he low? What did he eat? Crush again. Yo, that looked like a clean dive, man. But they get touched. I mean, they popped ults, right? Like, is this winnable? No. No. Okay, I mean, if Snappins push up and they say, okay, we're gonna Shaw ult, that's more understandable. That's more understandable. Try to take the fight, and your Genos is just, yeah, sure. Sure. That doesn't work if they don't have Shaw ult. It doesn't work if they don't have Shaw ult. Alright, I mean, it's Frogile. Like, it's pretty straightforward, right? You're always gonna have the offlane and the offlane. You're always gonna have main and main. Like, there's literally 2 lanes on every single part of this map. Aside from last choke, in which case your DPS takes a little bit of an off angle, but Rom making space. Mamma mia. Bones cart, please, thank you. Mamma mia is like a. The caster said that when this happened. Actually, let's pull that up. We're at what time are we at? Say 3:15 when that happens. Let's find 3:15 on the game clock here.
Pepper, because right now they still got ultimates, they still have, you know, the long range option, apart from, of course, this ROM that just gets into them, and that's a double kill coming on. Mamma mia! That was incredible for them. What a sick.
Yeah, that's a great clip. Anyhow, let's go back in the game. Kirk gets the last off this, doesn't it? Not actually getting cleanup, so you probably want to leave. I mean, they kind of get pinched on because the Victor ult literally made space. Ooh, wait, Woodknock. Wait, he kills 2. Wait, Woodknock kills 2? Oh, his team is dead. Yo, he's back. He's not. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna try to bait the con to go for the grab and have the con try to fall off the map, but like I don't think there's any world in which that works. So, bit of a miscommunication here. Your Nara, your Victor are both fighting, and your con is going back to spawn to buy items. Khan was literally buying items. So not really Natsumi, right?
Enemy
Where's
down,
Gio?
look out.
So he missed Gio ult, which is unfortunate, but Sigma has this really nice off angle and just kills both the enemy DDs. Wait, hold up. I mean, again, this is gonna be really good part of the map because like Zin's gonna be able to get like close the distance on this Victor Leon and just tear him apart. I'm just burning an hour. Dude, I like this. It's going well for snapping. And Pepper's drafts are just scuffed. Kind of scuffed, man. Snapping's actually taking advantage of it.
15 seconds.
Someone going danger. Does he have ult? Is he going for ult? Oh my god, Penguin almost just flew off the map because of that Zin ult, but like the Zin ult bug rather, I should say. Tanks are making space, your DPS burn tanks, fine play. Khan falls over. Like, yeah, they live. That's insane. Dude, the tanks just just created an entire new country for the snap and DPS to work with. That was really good. Can they hard zone? Term died and didn't ult, so I'm gonna say no. So this is winnable for Pepper if they hit Con ult. Why didn't Term ult? If you can, I mean, ulting and going to the spawn isn't a bad play, especially with Rom. And Arn kind of gets through main. Does he live? He ate 2? Did Term eat it and then he just caught the edge of 1 maybe?
Alright, they're getting hot, they're getting hot.
Rom coming back? Rom coming back? Unlucky. Oh my god, dude. If would not kind of killed Bones there. That's unlucky. Yeah, I mean, Con ult. If there's 2 ways to do with Con ult.
Hold, brothers.
You can either soft reset and let the person die,
Get on the payload.
or you int them and try to kill the Con, or try to kill someone else while that's happening. Which is like is a very brief window, right? But it's like your only option because Con ult is just like it's just strong, man. So you're going like comeback mechanic, kind of sucks. And Pepper they hit Con ult on the one fight that mattered. Snapping kind of running over main, which they can do because what's gonna punish them? What's gonna they win the fight just by running at things, right? They have Term Rom, like that's really good for just running at things. And then what's gonna push them in danger? Like Leon was main. It's just Con, solo Con in your backline, like whatever. Who cares? It's just Con. R.I.P. Pengu. Team is kind of disconnected. Woodnock and Pengu were up really far compared to the other 3 people, so there's some sort of miscommunication going on somewhere. Oh, Stigma. He's running, man. He might not get out, but he's running. He's not getting out. Dude, if he didn't fall, he gets out, but... Swinging the other way now, and now... It's a bit more difficult for... God, it's every Zen ult that this bug happens, isn't it? But now it's a bit more difficult for the Zen to close the distance. So now this extra range that Pepper has is gonna be a bit better for them in the push. Really good Zen ult though, make some space. Push them out, get 2 fights if you really want. Oh my god, he just falls over. Stigma missed a shot on the Leon there. Con, are you good there, bud? Also, Woodnock was over here, and his team is over here, so like... Can we stop these miscommunications, please? And now they're staggered. Nah. Promise to touch. Penguin thinks he has to touch and dies for it. The Hanks are stacking. Oh, no.
Alright, they're getting hot, they're getting hot. An animal.
That was not a clean defense from Snappin'. And now, no full combat mechanics, so maybe that dive works again, but the Con ult is up.
Capture point spawns.
So I'm looking for Con ult to get value, and I'm looking for Snappin' to maybe play off retake. Grover can press Q and live General Assault, so you can't just snipe the Grover on point from spawn. Because that's always a fun play for Generals. Sometimes it works really well, like on that Stone Keep game. Stigma not starting to main. General Assault whiffs. What is Rom doing? He has ult. He has ult! They wasted Con ult! No! Please, yeah, please ult. Also, I don't know why they're switching up tanks. Like, that just makes no sense to me. Maybe they didn't want Rom to get counted. Actually, that makes a bit more sense now. Sigma is still somehow 1 HP in Connaught. But look where this fight's happening. Look how much space Snap and have. Snap and oh god, Sigma gets picked. Like Zen is running into the backline. He is dying because of the bug again. This bug is literally messing him up so much. If the bug doesn't happen with Zen, he's healthier and can continue the pressure as the billow later. Term can go in. Oh my god, dude.
You best bow down.
Literally the pick on Shaw wins that though. Like if Shaw dies, then if Shaw lives, then the DPS are kept busy. Zen can do more. Takes less damage. Charm takes less damage. And that's with Pepper messing up Connaught. God, they have the right idea. They just need to be cleaner with it, man. They just need to be cleaner with it. Penguin gets picked on Fort. Die up. Don't like hurt. Move too much. Looking. Oh, that's fat. That is fat. Grover got off a tiny vine. He's killable. Alright, he doesn't have too much Chronos. Oh, he's Chronos free actually, so maybe he's not. Maybe he's not. Are we gonna hold chokes or are we gonna full hold? We're killing Leon. Full hold option is available and is what they're gonna go for. So let's see some push up, please. Oh, Stigma's respawning. We're gonna need to get some resolve for this guy. Holy, he's getting so much value off Brush. Rom kinda feeds.
Y'all really just let them triple kill you?
They all kind of fed. They kind of just ran in one after the other. Like if you're gonna run in together, please. That's run in together is called a dive. Run in one by one is like just feeding. Yo, Pepper have 5 ults and it's 1 fight territory. Hold up. This fight's gonna have like 8 ults in it. Like Pepper's gonna look for Con, it's gonna hit, then Snap is gonna like spend everything to try to equalize. Where are you going? Where are you? Why? That's big. They're holding this so weird. Yo, Stigma's in the backline.
Okay, real talk.
Stigma. 1v3. Didn't work out so hot. Why is Rom contesting? Zenalt misses. Big Peel doesn't hit Penguin. Next Connaught attempted body block doesn't work. They should still be fine. They have respawns, Legacy dying. That should be it.
Enemy dub, look out.
That should be it. And they have Zenalt if they absolutely need it. You can full hold, you can deny them touch. They wasted Connaught, they wasted Leon, they wasted Grover. They didn't waste them. Dude, Pepper committed hard and Snap and used 2 of their least important ults. Dude, that is insane. No Illuminate, man. Shaw gets so much value. I mean, he gets Victor ulted, I guess, but free game 5. Pepper committed, did not push it in. Snap and still have all says worst case scenario for Pepper. Holy man. Alright, I just want to watch this game, man. This is good. This is good. Do you got morale on Con? Ooh, we bought Illuminate instead. Interesting. Where's Rom? Why is your Robin main? Okay, here comes the dive, I guess. Penguin's taking a lot of damage though. Penguin dies. Where's the Victor? Is Victor's just in main? Victor somehow kills it with the... Oh no, dude. Why are they changing up their rollout? They don't have Connaught. If that's the thing you were worried about, like, you can switch back. Like, the ROM can go in, like... Term can, like, dash up to windows. Like, look how much space Term is making. But who's gonna follow up now? If Penguin's alive, if Penguin goes danger, he ults the Con is dead. But now there's only Sigma to follow up, and it's last fight because Pepper got 30% cap. Like, look how much space Woodknock is making, but who's gonna follow up on it? He gets grabbed. He has to ult this, he has to ult that. Penguin's back, they're trying to kill Anar. Woodknock is buying so much time. Rom, go in, and here comes the dive. Shattered, doesn't find anything. Anar is getting burned on cap. Zenalt misses. Victor is living. Woodknock has to bail. Reincarnate still making space, but the Inara's died, so Snapping can soft reset. They still have Gen Assault. Gen Assault, a pick with Gen Assault wins the fight. All that Snapping have to do is set back up for the dive. Gen Assault whiffs close. Khan still kind of getting ran over. Tanks for Snapping are stacking. Everyone for Pepper is stacking in windows. Stigma still a main. Khan not getting run over. Penguin choosing to burn for point. Penguin trades, but Rom gets run over. Stigma has to contest with Shald. Anarm must have Rizal or something. They have to contest? No, they don't have to contest. 75% for Pepper, 99% for Snappin', so Pepper's one have to contest. Do they have touch? Penguin has to touch. Does he have Billow? He doesn't, so he goes down. No ults. Connell hits something. I didn't even see that. The tank's diving. Bones has to touch. There's no one to make space for, though. Trying to turn for the tank, but no damage because Stigma died earlier. This is done. There's only 2 people left for Snappin'. Oh my god, dude! Like, literally that fight was, like, Snappin', like, they had it. They literally had it. It was just execution bits. Like, when they went in, they turned for the Inara, then they didn't really soft reset too well. Like, that level of, like, macro calling what's going on, and then, like, the target focus on that dive, like, oh my god, that was so close. That pick on Penguin in the beginning to roll out, why would he put Rom in main against Victor Leon? He's going to die. He just dies, man. Even if you send him main off the bat, then you switch him back later. What a series, eh? What a series. Well, it didn't start off too hot, but by the end of the game, end of the series, it was pretty good. I wonder if they show standings for NA at the end of this. Oh, they do. So standings. Oh, we can have week 9 standings actually. But yeah, so that game mattered a lot for Snappin'. They would have been tied with, or not even tied with, but now they have to, like, they've got a lower map differential and they need to win some games on Snappin'. I mean, Pickled Pepper is pretty much locked. Yeah, I think Pickled Pepper's locked in because even if they lose both, Snappin' only goes to, like, worst they can do is 8-2. Sanguine best they can do is 7-3. So they're guaranteed first now. So Snappin' needs to win both and hope that either Sanguine loses both, or hope that Sanguine only wins one, and that Snappin' somehow ends up with a better map differential. Is there a way if they 3-0 and they lose by 3, then they free? Yeah, okay, so like that's possible, but unlikely. Sanguine. Ooh, this is gonna be close, man. It's gonna be close. Oh, Yeezy's here too. Can Yeezy do it? Can Yeezy finish top 2? Because top 2 makes LAN, right? Like that's the big deal. That's you want to be top 2. Because they have the same. Yeezy has the same record as Snappin', but like a -4 map differential. I don't know. It's probably it's not unrealistic for. It's unrealistic for Yeezy, but it's not impossible. And then Product and Flashpoint are just out of it. There's no way they can make it. Is there? No, there's no way that 4 and 6 is enough to finish top 2. Yeah, man. So that's a heartbreaker for Snappin'. Holy, that's actually rough. That's rough, man. Anyhow, holy, you can finally freaking end this thing. It's been a long time. 2-3 hours. I don't actually know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a good set. Good set. And yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep now. It's late. No, I will see you guys next time.